And hello and welcome everybody on the last day of the regular split of Samsung Galaxy Ultraliga. If we are going to end the regular season, let's end it in style. And let's end it with our duo, your usual host and caster Majutek, alongside my big sister Solari.
Hi, hello. I am a proud big sister, yes, because Majutek has finally found his voice as a caster in English, which is super nice to see always. I mean, we enjoy you as our pre-show host, of course, but it's really nice to see you getting more and more into the casting. And today, I'll have the pleasure to cast with you yet again, especially since we have some really exciting games to cast today, right?
Of course we do. Maybe we can take a look at the schedule and discuss what the future brings today. We're going to start with back to the game against Orbit Anonymo, GRP Esports against devils.one. That should have been the match to decide the fate of the playoffs, but it's not because devils.one did not succeed in their mission yesterday. Iron Wolves against Forsaken and Zero Tenacity facing against Matty USA LODIS. What do you think about those matches?
So technically, none of these matches are really going to be decisive because the whole scoreboard is already locked in. We know who is getting into the playoffs. We know who, unfortunately, we will have to wave goodbye to after today's games. But I feel like this makes some of the games today a little bit more interesting because yesterday, for example, the last game did not matter anything as well. Back to the game were simply trying to not lose their second place, which they succeeded at, and Wolves had nothing to lose anymore with their score. That's why both of the teams were having a lot of fun on the Summoners Rift. And that is exactly what I'm hoping for today. Because if you look at the matches on paper, you can very easily see the outcome of at least 3 out of 4 of them. But in reality, who knows what's going to happen?
That's exactly the last days, the last best of ones that doesn't really matter. You can have some fun. You can
Yeah.
pick a champion for your biggest fan out there or anything you would love because you have secured this very place. There is one thing still going on. Back to the game needs to win today's match to secure the second place. If they not succeed in this, then Forsaken might retake the spot number 2. That's going to be the match. In the 6 teams playoffs, we call it Juggernaut. In this very format, we just call it what the first round match. I don't think that it's going to be much more different. After winning the first best of 5, you are still going to head straight to the final. So that's a nice thing to have in the summer split before the LAN finals in Gdańsk. Zero Tenacity already locked in for the first place. So back to the game needs to win the first match against Orbit Anonymo, and then all the other matches are just, yeah, for fun, basically.
If normally we would call that Juggernaut, and right now it's not, can we call it Juggernaut? Sorry.
Yes, we can approve. But yeah, in case that back to the game loses the match, Forsaken wins against Iron Wolves. Forsaken are taking the second place, and if Orbit Anonymo wins and Matty USA loses their match, they will end up on the 7th place, and that will lead them to join the promotion tournament between the first and the second division that they want to avoid because they just advanced from the second division. They don't want to give it a shot, this little shot to come back.
But as you can see by our predictions, none of us really think that Orbit Anonymous stand any chance against Back to the Game. I mean, Majutek, of course, is very biased towards Back to the Game, as you might have noticed. Yes, exactly. No pressure onto Back to the Game, of course. But they shouldn't be the ones feeling pressure, to be fair, because Orbit Anonymous are ending the split on a very low note. We did have them on the interview yesterday when they won their match against Matty USA LODIS, and they did tell us that they regret not having more time throughout the split because they have been growing a lot. They had their coach join them rather late into the split, and they could have worked on a lot more things and improved much more if only the split was a little bit longer than that. But, well, time does work against us in many circumstances, and the length of the split is just one of those.
And we could say that if if the split were to be shorter, then Forsaken would have went with the perfect split, basically, because they
Could be.
started really, really well, and then something snapped, some problems started to occur, and in the end, the change of the top laner, I don't believe that Togepi was a problem whatsoever. It's just the personal matters of this player that he needed to go out, and they came in with yet another great soul laner. How did you like the debut of Yama thus far?
Uh, it was a hard debut because joining the team so late in the split, literally into the last week, is a very taxing thing to have, especially not especially, but even rather as a top laner, you still are a little bit isolated from the rest of the team. But playing a champion such as Na, you know that you are going to be a very valuable asset later in the team fights, and you have to deliver accordingly. He did have some misplays in the early half of the game, which had me a bit worried. But by the end of the game, he did show to us that there is a reason why Forsaken have chosen this very player to replace Togepi. He is a solid one. I believe the only thing that the team needs right now is a little bit more time to get more accustomed to their new top player. And after that, we might see some great results from him and from them.
And there is a little time before playoffs. Just today, a last official match. Then maybe a couple of screams here and there, a duo queue weaver or your jungler. That's the best that you could get to be ready for the playoffs stage. Everybody is getting ready, or at least half of the teams are getting ready for the playoffs. The other half are just ending this split on today's broadcast, and they are going to have a long holidays, not counting in the winter cups or the Polish Super Cup or anything like that. They will be lacking some of the League of Legends competition.
And we will too. Unfortunately, the off season is right ahead of us, and it's going to be a long one. I don't know about you, but I'm already starting to make a list of games I'm going to be playing while it's going to be happening, because otherwise I will be crying, because no professional League of Legends. But fortunately for me, it's not the case today just yet. We have a little bit more of those good games in Ultraliga. So let's see how the first match is going to look like, because we are in the draft. Albeit Anonymo are taking the blue side, back to the game are on the red side.
Just a quick note, I have one particular game in mind that I will be playing during the break. I don't know if you know it. It's called League of Legends.
Ew, brother. Brother, ew. Why would you play it?
I'm still going to play. I need to maintain my high elo to be able to provide the best casting services.
Oh, should I feel ashamed?
No, some of the casters are just not really talented as you, and they don't need to. I need to work hard to maintain my place.
Somehow you made it into a compliment, you sneaky guy, thank you.
You're welcome. Let's head into the draft.
Yes.
As we see right now, some AP junglers getting banned. Per usual, we are getting rid of all the Zyras and Talias, sometimes maybe even Kartuses and Rumbles, as we see right now, but also Lucian, and I'm thinking about either Tristana or Skarner as a last ban for back to the game. That should seal the deal.
Orbit Anonymo's Pump doesn't play either of those champions though, yet he could play Skarner, but I haven't seen Skarner for a pretty long time, so I would say banning Tristana is not necessary. Back to the game can freely take it for themselves. The Sejuani, however, wait, what is going on?
Gotcha.
Has Pump ever played Tristana in this split? Because it is always Ari, Syndra, LeBlanc. You know what, I'm gonna check. I'm curious now, but I feel ashamed. Okay, they read it well.
He played Korotkiy, that I do know. He played one Tristana game and won this very game.
When was it, I wonder?
Checking. It was against Forsaken, actually. Wow, that's interesting.
That game. My god. Okay.
Now
Did we count that game? It was a weird one.
We do. It's a win. I mean, we need a win. We obviously are going to count it in. Back to the game are going to respond with not the usual approach of, Korotkiy to match Tristana or Israel or anything like that. Brand is understandable, but Leona so high up into the draft as a red side, you were asking for this Alistar pick.
Yes, but that's something Back to the Game have already pulled out. They have decided to go with Leona as the first pick on their side, and it makes sense. It is a pick that Akora can pivot rather well. It is a pick that doesn't really get a lot of information to the enemy. Leona is a pretty standard pick on the bot lane these days. It doesn't even give you what AD carry she could be paired with, because she could work with a lot of options out there. It is very safe, and I like the back to the game went this direction.
I don't like these hovers from the side of
I
Suzy
like
because I
them.
don't know what to expect right now, but we shall see something normal, hey? Yeah, it's going to be the most normal
Aw.
champion on the mid lane, Korotkiy, this time for Suzy.
They give us hope and then they take it away. They give it and they take it back to the game. I want to see some spice in that draft. I mean, I understand they still have to make sure they're winning this game because they don't want to be contesting the second place. They want to be sitting there very nicely. But come on. Other than that, however, it's pretty normal, right? So it's Brand for them in the jungle. Shasku pivots this really well. Against Maokai, Ainkar just refuses to go into carry junglers. He still goes with as much utility as possible. Again, very much like Orbit Anonymo, like the draft.
Orbit Anonymo going with the standard stuff centered around the carries, so I'm expecting back to the game to maybe even leave the AD carry as a last pick for Lofen to just try and play something cool on the bot lane. With Leona, you have potential to go maybe even with a Draven, because you work well with Leona against Alistar. You can cancel his combo, so some interesting stuff, interesting combinations here and there, but most likely it's going to be per usual last pick for Cozy, for him to lock in Camille, Fiora, Gwen, Olaf, whatever he chooses to just destroy the top.
That's interesting. The back to the game are the ones spanning out Ezreal. Ezreal is one of those options that can be paired rather well with Leona, which allows Leona to roam a lot because Ezreal is an extremely self-sustainable AD carry. But apparently they have a plan. I wonder if it's going to be something in the direction of Jhin or Kai'Sa, something that has a lot of range but also can join up the team from pretty far. But it's just a well thought there. Oh! Forget I said anything! Now that's fun!
They're not scared about the Maokai nor the Alistar, that they are going to be problematic and painful in teamfights. No, Lofen feels no fear. He just locks in Misfortune here. Great combination with Leona and Brand. We have to endure that. But on the other hand, Alistar and Maokai might really be problematic.
Yeah.
You probably need to be playing with clans. Misfortune prefers barrier overall, so not sure, but let's acknowledge that Lofen is really brave in this match.
He is. Because even cleanse is not really going to be that helpful for Misfortune, because if you start throwing in your ultimate, what the enemy wants to be doing is disrupting you. And even if you press cleanse when there is a control on you, your ultimate is already cancelled either way, so a lot of damage is gone into nowhere. Really bad situation for Misfortune, a lot of ways for Orbit Anonymo to make Layton's life absolutely miserable today.
Orbit Anonymo responding with Kai'Sa and Camille for the top lane, so I'm thinking, is it going to be just the Jax for Cozy? You know, the usual approach to this matchup, because both Cassandra and Renekton are banned. Feels like a natural course for this draft.
Yes, we have two pretty big Camille players and two pretty big Jax players as well, and they are going to be playing Camille versus Jax matchup. In this case, considering the nameplates, I would say this is entirely 100% skill matchup. Whoever gets to the Shin first, whoever can get a little bit more of the split pushing in the game, only time will tell us, and only the skill of these players is what's really going to matter here.
Agreed on that. And if we extend this thinking towards the full composition, you know, the five-man roster, I feel like it's 35 to 55 for back to the game, mostly because I really love Brand and I feel like Shasku is an amazing player of this champion. You have a lot of setup for Brand to really pop off. His solo AP, you're kind of forcing the enemy team to buy mercs because you have Leona, but that shouldn't be that much of a problem because you're just relying on this really powerful burst damage. With the Korotkiy, with Jax, you are looking to just jump in, eliminate 1-2 persons, and then Brand passes and Korotkiy range will do the rest of the work.
That's an interesting point though, because if you think about it, back to the game have both the burst damage and very good DPS on their side as well, because they can poke the enemy quite a lot, and they're going to have quite a lot of range to do so as well, especially with Brand and Korotkiy on their side. it can go a lot of different ways. Honestly, it's entirely up to back to the game how they're going to play this match out, how they're going to play with their draft, because again, it is a very versatile one. So let's see if maybe this team has some surprises for us, and especially let's see how this misfortune on the bot lane is going to work out for them, because Lothen, it's not gonna be easy.
It's not going to be easy to be playing Misfortune. Maybe on the lane, yeah, kinda, because if Alistar uses the full combo, then what else he could provide to the very trade? Not much. And Kai'Sa has rather shorter range than Misfortune. You know, counting in the ricochet on her Q ability, you can basically through the half of the lane still be putting some pressures. But that's going to be the last match for Orbit and Anonymo in the split, the last best of one for Back to the Game as they are advancing towards the playoffs. And I have experienced in the second division that the teams that are out of the playoffs, they are out of the pressure of winning, of making it towards this or this very place. They are playing like bunch of fakers. I don't know if it's going to be the same case with Orbit Anonymo, but facing Back to the Game without any pressure whatsoever might unleash special powers in these players.
Can I just say, maybe we're going to see some special powers, but Uden tried to sweep his jungle in the beginning of the game, walked right past the ward that is standing at the Raptors right now, and did not find out that it was there.
Yeah, that might
depressing.
not be the problem, but Einkart on the bot lane might be.
Oh, with a really nice knockup going on to Lothen, and it's such a quick first blood!
He didn't even try to use the flash nor the barrier. He just gave up. He said, okay, guys, it's the cheesy level 2 gank from Majutek. Accorder, please hold the wave. I'm coming right back.
Disgusting, absolutely disgusting from the side of Orbit Anonymo. But a really good pickup, and it's a kill for Cairo. Not really something you can be mad about if you're Orbit Anonymo right now. Plus, they have the control over the lane right now. If the recall did happen, so everything is perfect for Orbit Anonymo on the bot lane already.
Uden is already rotating, trying to maybe find Shasku, maybe put a ward, maybe looking for an opportunity to go mid lane, but I don't believe it might happen. What can Back to the Game do to respond to this very play? Because Shasku is going to finish his full clear, but I'm not sure if he will have enough priority coming from mid and top lane to be able to go into the blue buff.
The thing is, Orbit Anonymo now have a very clear read on Shasku. They know where he is. They know that Yeti needs to be careful on the top lane right about now. That's why Einkart is already around, hovering, shadowing a little bit around his top laner. Might need a little bit of help because Yeti is taking the beating from Cozy. Einkart is around. Do they realize that Shasku is on the way? They see him on the ward. Cozy turns around with a flash, finishes Yeti, gets out of it unpunished, and Shasku just chases Einkart for a little while longer, proving the point that Orbit Anonymo should not go unwary onto the top lane like that.
And with Einkart being that low, Shasku could potentially mess around for some time in the jungle, trying to apply pressure, as Pump is applying on the mid lane. Both of those players within like 50 health or so.
If not less, honestly. I kind of wonder what exactly happened there, but I feel like it's the usual Tristana Korotkiy lane shenanigans. They just beat each other non-stop. Tristana does have a little bit more power in the early levels, if you don't take into consideration the items especially. But Korotkiy does have the damage as well, so that's why they beat each other up. They come back to the lane after a recall. Funny how they didn't score any kills there.
If I recall correctly, I saw something in the LCK again going against Tristana, I mean against Korotkiy. They went in like level 2, level 3, trying to just test the damage out, and the margin that you are allowed to make a mistake is basically like one auto. If you cancel one auto attack, either by as Tristana or as Korotkiy, you are losing the trade. So it's so evenly matched between those two champions that you need to be playing this very matchup perfectly. Otherwise, the enemy mid laner is going to roll over you. As we see right now, I mean, Syzyf is doing fine, is doing all right, trying to exchange the damage, but Tristana feels like doing, I don't know, 1 point of a damage more with each auto. And that sums up to...
Well, Cozy, why did you do that, brother? He went down to the turret for Yeti, but Yeti read him like an open book. Stunned him beautifully right on the approach and scored his own kill after this stun. Right now, might see a little bit more kills scored around the Drake because back to the game are taking the Drake there in the process. It's going down. Akura is trying to stop Opinumber from getting into the pit. He doesn't succeed at it. Einkarts is stealing the Drake away, has to pay with his own life, but a Drake is a Drake regardless.
Yeah, the Drake is a Drake. It's a great exchange for Orbit and Anonymo. They shouldn't be taking this very objective, just looking at the powerful combination of Leona and Misfortune that could easily delete even a half of your health pool, even at level 4. But this solo bolo on the top lane just caught me off guard. I don't know what Cozy was thinking while diving under the tower. I mean, he had the advantage. He had the 1-0 right now in the mid lane.
Syzyf is fighting with Pump. Pump is under the turret, though. Syzyf is still going to go down. How did he go down? What? Oh, it was the bomb on him, I assume. So that's how he went down. But Pump overstayed his welcome out of this turret. Right now, it's another welcome that might be overstayed. Yeti has Shasky on his lane. Needs to run away. Cannot use the walls. He's gonna be stunned by Shasky. Gonna catch some damage. Not enough to take him down, though.
Oh, a lot of action happening. By the way, on the mid lane, I do believe that Pump missed one auto onto the tower and didn't reset the bomb, and yet he's dead.
What? What is going on today? What is this Suicide Squad X2 from both of the teams? Why are we jumping out of the turrets? Why are we jumping back into the enemies? Like there is no tomorrow. Let's see what happened here with Pump, though.
1, 2, 3. Oh no, he just didn't have enough time to put the 4th auto. He had the reset on the rocket jump. He had the flash, but no, it didn't work out.
Oh, they're doing it again, by the way. Look at it. Pump fighting with Syzyf, dealing a lot of damage, maintaining his distance very nicely, jumping again right onto him. Please do not tower dive like the last time, Pump. I don't think it's gonna happen, but look at the health bars. They're almost equal.
These players have no breaks in this game. It's only, you know, straightforward, accelerate, going, and if you're about to die, then hey, let's crash. Let's not stop. Let's crash into the wall.
Exactly, yeah. It's a little bit of a solo queue craziness style. Like, you know, when you get a champion, you want to practice and you do what is called in professional circles as a limit testing. It does feel a little bit like that. Just, you know, a little bit of thinking, hey, what happens if I jump right into them? Am I going to have enough damage to do anything, or am I going to die? There's only one real way to find out. And I'm gonna do that. And they jump back and under the turrets. But right now, they are jumping on Uren. Uren, you do not face Jack like that! He's gonna be dead. He flashes away. Akura has the flash as well, has the stun, and it's gonna be enough damage from Shasky or from Akura to take him down. Now, another ultimate on the bot lane. Yeah, that's a little bit too far, but that's still a lot of damage onto Kahvo.
And it might, indeed should, end up in a dive. Loten, do not lose that many HP. Do not let Kahvo, you know, try and look for a magic trick here. They are going with the dive, but maybe Einkarts can interrupt it.
Einkarts and Uren are around. Kahvo is still very low. It's a perfect bait for back to the game. Are they going to take it? Really good stun onto Einkarts. Already dealing a lot of damage to him. Kahvo stays under the turret. Uren is around. With Uren, there might be a problem for back to the game to tower dive Kahvo. Do they want to go for it? Answer the question. I think I have my answer. It's a no.
I mean, Shasky had flash and ultimate. I was thinking that maybe if not the dive, just throw an ultimate out there, poke them down and force Kahvo to go to base. But no, nothing of that happened. 9 cards, oh my god.
He jumped right into Shasky with a plant. Oh my god, he's dead and low. That's a good question. What is going on? Wait, Pump?
Wait, yeah.
Oh, okay, Pump is
own the situation on the mid lane and say out loud that Lofen once again had both barrier and flash up. Didn't use any of it.
Something happened. Maybe it was some cheeky tactics from Uren. There definitely was an ultimate and a flash from Kahvo. Just looking at the timer, Syzyf is going for a tower dive on the pop and cannot finish him! Barely survives. Careful, can you survive though? Gotta be called by a corner, gotta be called by Shaska, and this time it's the jungler who gets the kill.
What is exactly happening in this very match? Let's just look at the replay. We saw this situation of Einkar's dying, basically, with the flash and the smite, but we didn't see what happened on the bot lane. Please, observer. Thank you very much. Oh, no, it's not this situation. It's just overstaying to crush the wave. Yeah, we saw it already.
Yeah, we know that he dies. Like, spoiler alert. Sorry if you haven't watched this episode of this anime, but that's the previous one that we missed. We know the outcome. We don't know what exactly happened there. The whole plot line is lost on us now.
Yeah, okay, now we are experiencing this fight.
We have the rerun. Let's see what happens. So Lothan is all alone, pretty low in mana.
Uden coming in, not being able to use the combo, so just Kasper running him down. Okay.
Wow. As simple as that.
As simple as that.
Wait, Shasku? Ah, cool. He thought there's going to be a flash or hex flash. Didn't catch anybody. He's going to be caught himself with the ultimate from Maokai. Throws in the ultimate, gets Einkar's. You do not catch me, brother. I'm going to catch you instead. Cozy's around. Cozy jumps onto Pump. Pump is stunned, but he's stunned rather far away from Jax. And it looks like that's the end of the fight, but it's not the end for the Drake.
I mean, they wanted to go in because they felt like, okay, with Maokai we have enough crowd control. So they've missed this. Oh, that's not a kill. But enough crowd control is not enough damage output. And Shasku, he doesn't need any of it. He's just slamming all the keys on his keyboard. Q, W, E, R, doesn't matter in which order. And he's going to burn pretty much everybody with Liandry already completed. That was too easy to not win this.
I feel like it's the fact that he has already the mask in his pockets that is making Orbit Anonymous' life so miserable right now whenever they have to face Shasky, because his damage is way too much on level 6, level 8.
Yep, just look at this. Einkard turns alongside with Uden, Accorder tanking a little bit, and then Shasky pressing R, and Einkard is gone. The second that Brand uses ultimate, Maokai is gone, and it's the Maokai going into the Liandry as a first item. Until he gets like Warmogs or something like that, he's not going to be even half of the time.
And may I point out that he's 2 levels below Shasku right now. 2 whole levels! This is an insane difference. You can kind of see if you look at the creep score where exactly it's coming from. Partially if you look at the kill score, you're like, it checks out. But yeah, overall, it's a really sad situation for Einkards.
And Maokai being behind means you cannot rely on him being the front laner. So you might be thinking, okay, maybe Uden, but Uden is like level 6 and he still needs at least a Warmog to be able to be the proper front laner. So you're playing without a tank for the next couple, maybe even 10 minutes.
Now, they might be playing without Careful because Akura found him with the ultimate, with the sword. Couldn't really finish him up with Lothan's ultimate. Uden made sure that he's covering his 80 carry with his life. Now Akura found Einkar's problem is Shasku did find him as well. Einkar's trying to get away. I'm not sure if you can do that. You're so low in health. It is a kill for Lothan and they want to continue. Kaho is still around. Kaho is still pretty low. Uden throws Lothan away. Tries again to save his 80 carry. Might be, no, will not be able to do so. The others will finish them both.
Beautiful execution with the ultimate, with the stun coming in from Shasku. That was just perfectly played, you know. Finally, something good happening for Back to the Game on the bot lane. It was the last position that they lacked some kills, but Lothan finishing the Bloodthirster right now. He is ready for the fight. He was ready for this very fight. Just look at Kekpo using both cleanse and his ultimate just to get out of the range of bullet time.
Delicious. Finally, some good freaking League of Legends. That's exactly what we deserved on this beautiful Wednesday. Very hot Wednesday in Warsaw. Very hot Wednesday on the Sunday, so it's gonna be even hotter right now. Uden is caught out by Shasky. Look at the damage! That is the front lane for Orbit Anonymo, but he's not allowed to be the front lane. I'm so sorry, Uden, but you cannot survive that.
A lot of happening in this game, but feels like most of the times it is in favor for Back to the Game. Just look at this right now, taking this tower, not caring about Yeti's presence whatsoever, securing the Herald and leading like 6k plus in gold.
6k, 15th minute in the game. And now they're getting the Herald, which means the gold gap is going to become even bigger in a couple of minutes from now. This is an insane lead for back to the game. Kind of what we expected from this matchup, to be fair. Albeit Anonymo, despite all their growth, are still the team that is sitting at the very bottom of the tournament scoreboard, not being able to progress anywhere up to them back to the game. Are placed number 2 and most likely are keeping it, judging by how this game is going so far.
Einkart shall be dead. Yeah, he is.
No. There is no way you're getting out of this, brother. It's just a question who gets the kill. The answer is Shasky 605. I just noticed this guy is 605, almost 100% kill participation.
Yeah, just smurfing this game, you know, pretty easy one, you know, 20 minutes to chill in. It's not even the 20-minute mark, and they are already chilling. Maybe Cozy felt too comfortable on this one.
Maybe fighting with 3 at the same time might be a little bit too much for him just yet. Only has the Triforce completed, but he jumps away, has Sisyph around, had to sacrifice a flash, but hey, a flash is an up price to stay alive. Shasky is preparing a trap, a little bit Anonymo. Cannot really hit everybody with the ultimate, but it's still something. Wouldn't throw Sisyph under the turret, and they score a kill. Another one for Kefbo.
Yeah, Shasky pulled the trigger a little bit too early, exposed himself, so the ultimate didn't charge. What is he doing? So the ultimate didn't fully bounce across everybody. That was a slight mistake, but overall I wouldn't count it as a problem because they were able to get the tier 2 on the bot lane with it. And the death of Sisyph right now, when the Drake has found right here, right now, and Cozy's applying a lot of pressure on the top lane.
Gonna be caught with ultimate from Einkart with the very end of it. Yeah, it's a lot of damage he has to take. A lot of baiting. 3 members of Albeit Anonymo dancing with him all at the same time. Can he at least score 1 back? No, he cannot, and yet he finally has his revenge.
But it should be planned by back to the game that if we leave Cozy on the top lane, they might come and get him, but we are getting a free Drake. Shasky just recalled, finishing Rylai's right now. It's minute 17. And it's so strong. You can't fight against this run. Level 11, 2 completed items. No.
Insane.
Just run away.
Yeah. You just don't forget that you play this game. It's only Brown who's playing this game right now. He's playing everybody. Albeit Anonymo are at the top side of the map right now. Well, as you said, they had to answer Cozy there, and that was a perfect opportunity for back in the game to secure their second break of the day. But now they will keep pushing. This is 18th minute of the game that we are at, which means the Baron is spawning very soon. Do you think, Majutek, the back to the game have the audacity to go for the early Baron?
Yes, of course. With this setup, I mean 100%. Brand dealing a lot of damage. Sisyph shredding some of the armor, so Loten could deal even more. Plus Cozy, either on the side or in the Nashor speed. That might be good idea, but even better is to turn. Is to bait enemies into it and then invite them all for the shower called the bullet time.
The bullet time plus the ultimate from Shasky, the ultimate from Akura, that's gonna be tasty. Before that, they might have a little taste of that tree. I'm not sure if it's really a tasty one, but Shasky is satisfied regardless, and they might be getting this turret unless Pump is trying to push them away with the ultimate, but I don't think it's gonna save your turret, my friend. You have to sacrifice the inner turret on both of the side lanes.
They are just casually using ultimates, not caring that, hey, maybe it's not the best opportunity to throw a brand ultimate onto a single target. No, screw it. Let's just go for this elimination. I mean, what could they do to punish us for this nonchalancy right now?
That's a good question. I don't think there is an answer to it. It might be just a plain simple nothing at all. But let's see, maybe now we're going to see a little bit more movement around the map, because 19th minute, which means Baron is spawning soon. Back to the game are hungry for something. Pump is hungry as well, going on to Sisyph, but taking a very hard beating. They retreat, but Sisyph has a little bit more HP in the end.
In the end, still close trade between Korotkiy and Tristana. No decider yet. Let's call it a tie for now, but I'm not sure if Pump will have a better opportunity than this, as if he's just going to finish his second item. Probably even right now, as he's just recalling, is it going to be Manamune straight into... So,
Perfect.
Pump, you had your shot, you had your opportunity. It might be too late now.
It might be. He literally had a shot, and he did use that shot on Decisive, but it didn't work out. And now it looks like Back to the Game are perfectly ready to go and secure this Baron. We had the shot a little bit earlier into the jungle of Anonymo on that side of the map. There is so many words from Back to the Game. Look at it right now. They see all the approaches towards the Baron Pete, sorry, beef is gonna happen there a little bit later. But right now, there is no way Anonymo can simply approach it because they, on the other hand, see absolutely nothing. Look at them. They don't know what's waiting for them. And you can imagine it's always Shasky waiting for somebody in a trap.
Einkarts with just the Liandries, trying to be as useful as possible, throwing saplings here and there, but that's the best use case of Maokai right now. You're not even level 11. Your ultimate is not as scary as it should be. I mean, Back to the Game, just chilling in this area, a quarter face checking. Oh, am I in any problem? No.
I'm not in any danger. I am the danger, he says. Einkar throws in the ultimate, but he's really low on health. Needs to be careful because Cozy is around the corner, looking for somebody to catch with the counter-strike. Doesn't find any opening, but Anonymo have to reset Einkars, have to reset Uden, while Back to the Game are still pretty fine. Only Akura is low on health, but it doesn't matter because they have Cozy with them right now, who can frontline if needed, who can kill somebody if needed. Cozy can be a one-man army if Back to the Game decide to unleash him, but they don't feel the need is there.
And the great case right now for Recorder is that he has the Warmog and the enemy support is short on this item. So he's allowed to go in, look for an engage. I am tanky, I have a lot of health, then they don't have enough damage to kill me, so I will most likely disengage, regain my health, and Alistar either needs to go to base, we are gaining tempo, or he's staying low on health. We have a lot of tempo because of that. So a perfect spot for Back to the Game to just be messing around somewhere near the Nashor pit to look for an opportunity or a poke or a vision or anything like that, and just with one single shot, one opportunity after a kill, ideally onto Einkarts, just take the Nash.
Honestly, sounds like a good plan. Honestly, sounds like an easy plan even for Back to the Game. Look at how ahead they are already. 6k, 7k gold difference, something among these lines. 2 items, 2.5 items on everyone on their side, while Anonymo are still struggling to complete their second items. It's only their 80 carries who have those available. Now, however, Anonymo are in the good spot, finally able to place some really good vision, plus the scuttle trap around the Baron. They have eyes on the prize. The problem is there is another prize on the map right now, but they still see nothing around. What are you doing? This has to be some weird bait towards Back to the Game. Back to the Game will understand. They will find an answer. They will go into the pit. Uden is waiting in a pretty good spot, I gotta say, to go onto Shasky. That's a really good objective for them to try to get rid of. But can he do that on time? Einkart is already dead. Kahoot trying to run away because there's so much damage. But Cozy is on the flank. He's looking to kill somebody, but there's not really too many enemies to kill anymore. Akura still alive. Doesn't get out of this situation because of that ultimatum, but it doesn't matter. Cozy is around, giving some smashing to Pump, and he's gonna kill him.
Pump missed the jump in the end, but how on earth did Orbit Anonymo win this fight? I mean, yes, great position by Uden, and then great follow-up by Einkart and the rest of the team, but it shouldn't happen in place like this, when you can just use the Leona, Brand, and Misfortune's ultimate. You should wipe them out in the Nashor pit. You did not succeed in this very mission. In the end, it looks like you still won the fight because Cozy is taking the tier 2, and maybe, you know, losing a shutdown here and there stops us for a while, but still, Back to the Game are in the lead. But how on earth did they lose that? Firstly, great entry by Uden, then Pump and Kekpo basically shooting for free. Pump is full health right now. He didn't receive any damage till this very moment.
I feel like the focus from Anonymo was really good as well. They knew they had to get rid of the enemy jungle, and they threw a lot of resources into that. Plus, Yeti had a really mighty good engage onto the enemies, dealing a lot of damage to them in the process from 2 months right into the back lane. It was a good fight for them, which puts us into 10-17 situation. Still, what? 5-ish K gold lead for back to the game, but the gap is definitely smaller. Anchors has to sacrifice the flash to get away from the ultimate of a quarter. Minus flash on the enemy jungler, something back to the game could capitalize on.
Yeah, they need to prepare the stage for the next fight like this, because it had worked out once for Orbit Anonymo. Back to the game just needs to make sure it's not going to happen another time. They need better vision, better understanding of the position of both Uden and Yeti, so they won't get flanked as they just did, and everything should be all right. I'm not worried. I am just thinking that back to the game might be taking it a little bit too easy right now. You know, it's the last best of one. Let's just play it easily. Do not focus like 100%, as we can see right now. Accorder is constantly getting caught, but who's catching who?
No, Akura is not kidding around, my friend. Akura has the team behind his back. Akura has his solar flare, his sword, his shield, and power of the sun, obviously. It's more than enough to secure a kill onto the enemy jungler, and that, in return, is more than enough to go towards the Baron, which is going to go down extremely quickly. Cozy is taking some attention from Orbit Anonymous AD carries, which gives enough time for back to the game to finish the Baron.
Having the power of the sun today, it's really, really, really the best blessing you get, because it's so hot out there. And the sun just rised up and went down straight onto Pump.
You forgot your sunscreen today, Pump. You do not look into the sun like that. It's gonna bite you back. Oh my goodness, Kasper is trying to fight in the Purge Soul's destroyed. I don't know how much health it has. I hope the observers are gonna show us, but it's barely alive.
It is barely, it's like
it's
one...
It's Yumi to scratch it and it's gonna fall down.
Yeah, maybe even a peaks of Lulu or I don't know what. Yeah, basically an auto will do the job.
And it's still the objective bounty for Kasper for this tiny baby turret. Okay, 10 to 19. Still those 9 kills gap. Still that however little difference there is. Oh my god, I'm not gonna calculate now. I'm looking at a quote. I'm looking at Kasper. Kasper is escaping the solar flare. That is good news. You know what's bad news? Shasku is around, and Shasku doesn't care about so many things in his life right now. He's 817. He sees you, he kills you. Spoiler alert, 3 items already in his pocket. He has more than enough damage to take down everybody.
And they should have more than enough power to break through at least one inhibitor tower without Kekpo, without any wave clear whatsoever. I mean, Yeti is going to clear it as a melee. Pump is going to clear it with 1 bomb. I don't believe so. It's not going to be just 1 tower, it's going to be 2, plus additional inhibitors back to the game are just tearing open the base of Orbital Result.
2 inhibitors down. DrBrilmann still standing, might not be for too long. I see a TP coming in from Caesar to the top lane. He wants to push through it. Yeti, are you sure it's a good idea? Actually, a lot of damage onto Shasky from him, and Shasky is stuck in the ultimate. Guess who else is stuck in that very ultimate? It's Yeti taking the beating from Lothar with the ultimate Uden. Looking for a way in, gonna be stunned by Shasky. Gonna go back.
I feel like it's the time for Orbit Anonymo to admit, yeah, we played this game, we had some chances, but in the end we see why Back to the Game are in the playoffs. We see why they are just a better team, and there's not much to say about it.
A quarter with 2 items, nonchalantly jumping into the enemies, getting the beating, providing the beating, mostly the latter. Icarus just got deleted. You blink once and he's already dead. And same is going to be happening with the enemy's base right about now, because look at how quickly these turrets are gonna go down. Back to the game. We're not kidding. In the end, they are taking this game. They want to make sure the second place is still secured for them. Maybe securing some more kills in the process, just for the giggles of that, you know. Maybe Kasper right now is trying to go golden, but his support is already down, and that means only one thing. He is next. And the only thing that is next after that, maybe after Pump, is going to be the enemy's Nexus. Back to the game, 10 to 25, unless they do some silly stuff right now. Thank you very much, they will not. It is yet another victory for them.
And we have the post-game statistics. I just want to highlight 2 things. The first one, damage coming from Shasku, 8, 1 and 11, 27k. Just your usual brand in the jungle, throwing some spells and basically killing everybody. And the gold graph. We see that Back to the Game took a lead early and were in the driver's seat for so long. Then maybe one, maybe two fights that Orbit, Anonymo were trying to look as they are any danger, but no, in the end it's like what, 12 KD, yeah, something like that.
Yeah, something along these lines, right? Absolutely insanely dominant game from Back to the Game. Had a little bit of a slower moment around the first attempt towards the Baron from Orbit Normal when they did throw a really good fight at them, but in the end, it didn't really matter. Back to the Game took the game by storm, and it's just, yet another victory for them to make sure that they are closing the regular split in style, which is something we also have to do because we have the pleasure of having Cozy on the interview with us right now. Hello, congratulations. I guess it's,
Hello.
the usual Wednesday in the office for you, but still a rather good victory for you.
Thank you. I mean, the game wasn't perfect, but yeah, I mean, I guess we won.
We do not have many opportunities to talk about the thought process of the players in the game itself because we are focusing on other topics. But I would love to ask about the thought process of you trying to dive Yeti while you already had this 1-0 lead, getting this 2-wave advantage, but you still went in under the tower and a little bit threw the advantage out of the window. What was coming through your head while attempting the dive?
I mean, honestly, I have to disagree with you. I don't think it was like a throwing play because I will explain it now. Like if if he doesn't, get the skill check right and he just doesn't flash out, then he dies and loses like 2 waves or like 3 waves.
And it's game over.
And if he kills me, which he did, he loses flash. I lose nothing because I already pushed in the wave. He doesn't have TP and the wave is pushing back to me and he lost like 2 waves on that. And I think he got ganked after that, but I'm not sure. I mean, he lost more than he gained from that, and he lost flash. So he was more vulnerable for my plays later.
That's always better to just quickly check with someone that knows a lot, much more than me in terms of the top lane matchup. Thank you very much.
No problem.
Yeah,
Classic good death.
Yeah, exactly. One step back, 2 steps forward, yada yada, how the saying goes. But I gotta have a question to you, and I want you to do a little retrospective for me. I want you to look back, not at just this split, but the whole year for Back to the Game, and tell me, how did it go for you?
I mean, obviously, like as I think everybody remembers, like at the beginning, it was pretty rough. Like nobody knew what was happening, like when we were 0-4. But I mean, from that, we are just constantly improving, like our communications, and like from that point, like basically, like every meta that happened, we read it right, and we are just adjusting to it. And yeah, I mean, it was constant improvement from the beginning of last split, and I mean, it got us here, second place, and with the option of challenging Z10.
You had this option in the previous split and were really close of winning. You will have now your option in the next couple of days, next week or so, if I recon correctly. Fingers crossed for this one as official Back to the Game fan, of course. But I would love to ask about the preparation for the playoff stage itself. You have played more official games this split than the previous one, counting in the EPL. So is it like the better preparation, the more you play, the better you are as a player? Or maybe there is still something going on, for example, like a boot camp that we don't know yet about? Please tell me more about the preparation for the playoffs itself.
Yeah, I mean, I guess we will find out soon. I'm not sure if I can say something, but we are for like Z10 game. We are gonna prepare some banger strategies, and yeah, I guess that's what I'm gonna say.
That's enough for me.
Yeah, that's more than enough for me, honest. I've been looking forward to what exactly you're going to be cooking on these matches. But, Cozy, before we can let you go, you know how it goes. Please tell me you have some greetings or shout-outs and make them good.
Pozdrawiam mamę, polskiego foka i wszystkich fanów Battle Game.
Yes! Exactly what I was looking for. Thank you so much, Cozy. We'll see you in the playoffs, and good luck with your preparations before that.
Thank you. Goodbye.
Yeah, I don't know if you all understood, viewers, but he said shout outs to my mom, to Polsky folk, and to all of the Back to the Game fans, so me
Including you.
included.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm very happy about it. I'm very happy for the boys, and I do agree with Cozy on this topic that they were constantly improving from game to game. The beginning on the spring was kind of rough. They were struggling to find their position in the meta, if they want to play with Shasku as a tank provider in the jungle or as a carry. Right now the meta suits them best. Cozy can play whatever he wants and whatever he's best at. The same goes to Shasku. Sisyph controlling the mid lane, and the addition, the substitute Lofen in the hyper carry meta, where you can play really, really aggressively. I believe that it's the best spot for Back to the Game too, and count me on that, win the league.
Oh, that's one step further than what I expected you were going to say, but I like it. It has the audacity, it has the spice to it, and actually, you might be true in the end. I'm not saying you will be, but I'm saying there is a high chance you will be. And as it goes, only time will tell if you're right or wrong. But speaking about time, we have 3 more games to go through for today. But before we do that, after this game, we do need a short break. And right after that, we'll be back with more League of Legends action for you.
Sí, ¿vos de qué parte sos?
Yo de aquí.
Ah, mira,
¿Tú de qué parte eres?
del norte.
Oh man, I feel like that was my best intro ever.
Yeah, not bad, hey, not bad. I can go pro. You know it as well. I also know you can dance. You should join me next time. And yes, I feel like you've also deserved a bit of a break. You've earned it.
Thanks.
Even the biggest champ needs a break.
Good job.
Hey, thank you.
Wjedź do elektryzującego świata e-sportu i zagraj z nami. Moc energii zapewnia elektryczna Kia EV6.
And welcome after the break, everybody. For now, we all know that Back to the Game are going to be the second seed team coming into the playoffs. Congratulations for them. And we know pretty much that it really doesn't matter between Forsaken and GRP Esports because they are going to be facing each other in the first round of playoffs.
Yes, and it's a little bit sad this way because yesterday's matches for both of these teams were the decisive ones. Yesterday's match of devils.one versus Zero Tenacity, the one that we opened the day with, was probably the most important one out of all three matches of these two teams in these 2 days. But since devils.one could not take the victory, GRP, by the way, could not either when they played versus Forsaken, we are where we are right now with GRP already being confirmed for the playoffs, with devils.one being below them with no way of climbing any further.
Yeah, if some matches happened in reverse yesterday and this was about to be the most important match of the whole season, the match for the 4th place, but it's not because devils.one lost yesterday. I'm started thinking, is that the case that now they either way are going to be playing 110% of their power just to show GRP Esports that you were lucky in the split, we were unlucky. Overall feels like we're better, but hey, congratulations in the end. I just feel like, are devils.one going to be ruthless in this match, or just, okay, we just lost and it's the last match, so hey, let's have some fun?
Hey, a revenge match would actually be rather fun. I would want for it to happen. Actually, do you remember what we predicted on the previous screen? We had it on the screen, but somehow I didn't stop to look at it. Did you predict GRP or devils.one for this game? You're gonna check, right?
Yeah, I'm just...
Okay, go and check it, please. And in the meantime, I will check what is happening with Bounce just to keep you updated. But it's nothing unusual there. You know, there is always going to be a Needly banned out versus Krisha. There is also going to be a Tristana banned out against Tribu. And devils.one banned out Rumble, Brand, and Zyra. That's a really fiery trio that they don't want to see today.
I went with GRP. You, my fellow sister, went with devils.one.
Oh, did I? Oh, that was bold of me. Oh, Solari from the past. You... we're not friends anymore. But that's gonna be fun if they win today.
Yeah, I'm just counting for one of the best League of Legends matches I've seen in my entire life. That's what I'm expecting. So the bar is pretty high. I've been watching League for quite some time now. But hey, let's relieve the pressure from the players. It is the match to just highlight the form of the full season. GRP Esports, they definitely deserve the place in the playoffs. devils.one were short of luck, of skill, of some understanding of the meta at the beginning of this split. So it just happened that they are going to end at the 5th place. Yeah, only Matty USA LODIS could potentially do something, but I don't think that it's going to matter in this sense.
No, I don't think this matters anymore. I think we're past the things that could make a lot of difference in the current standings, and we're just enjoying some good League of Legends. That's why I love the last matches in the regular splits, because they're always a little bit chaotic. Like, we already had a glimpse of it yesterday. Maybe today we're gonna have a little bit more of that, but I'm already happy with what we're going to see, because I'm looking at GRP. They have drafted Ezreal and Rel for their bot lane, and Sentu playing on Rel is always such a joy with how aggressive he goes into the Summoner's Rift.
Maybe that's unpopular opinion, but Sentu is the best role in Ultraliga, by far.
Yes.
Erdote
I
has
agree.
his Nautilus, Accorder has his engaging supports, a lot of them, but Sentu and Rel, masterpiece.
I would add Parasite and Alistar, because I feel like that is a really strong duo.
Right.
But Sentu, Rel, definitely 100% the best duo that I can name out. Nobody plays Rel more stylish than Sentu does. But on top of that, we're gonna have another AD carry, of course, locked in for GRP. It's gonna be Lucian for Artoria. devils.one, by the way, started with Leona as the first pick, which is something you don't really see every day. But then they go with the Korotkiy Kaiser, so nothing unusual there. Maybe the last picks are gonna be a bit more spicy, because we have that jungle still not decided for anybody.
And some jungle bans happening right now. Against Krisha, maybe you would love to consider banning Sejuani as well. He's been playing
Yeah.
some Sejuani and Maokai this season. Maokai is already banned. Nidalee is already banned. You can address a lot of bans onto him, but in my opinion, right now, if you really want to focus onto the jungle, Sejuani is your pick. No, it's going to be Olaf, the famous Olaf for Matix, and devils.one are just banning Sejuani on their own.
Nope. Just making sure that almost all of the AP junglers are completely removed from this game. Sejuani is always a strong pick. There is already some melee for Grapeture, so devils.one don't really want to make any risky bets and don't want to see her happening. But I love this last ban from Grapeture because Matix is a really good Olaf player, extremely aggressive, wants to dominate the lane. For Grapeture, it would have been hard to find a good answer into that if they let it slip through. That's the ban.
Yep, that's the ban. And the pick is coming from GRP Esports, going to be Talia. Decently placed Talia in this very draft. Could work well against Korotkiy and Kai'Sa. You know, as soon as the fight starts, you just need to put some stones underneath them so
Wait,
they cannot...
It's locked in?
It is. Talia is also decently good against Kha'Zix, to be honest, as long as she keeps the distance. But, you know, Kha'Zix in Ultraliga, it is happening.
There were some Kha'Zixes in Ultraliga, but that was a long time ago. I feel like I'm talking like an old woman right now, but that was a long time ago, my brother. Oh my god. Okay, it is only one spicy pick so far, but it's hella spicy. It's like, you know, the max spiciness level.
And Kha'Zix is the type of jungler that, yeah, he's really aggressive. He could be snowballing rather easily, and he doesn't need a lot of setup. Leona is like enough of a setup for the bot lane. On the top lane, usually enough is the overstep of the enemy top laner that you could sneak in behind him and do your job. On the mid lane, it's just too short of a lane to do much stuff. But going into the enemy jungle, you know, trying to invade here and there, fighting with Talia, that's not the tankiest jungler I've ever seen. That might work.
Quite possibly, yeah. Especially if you pick her up before she completes her Liandry's, or before she completes her Seraphs, whatever is going to be the choice here for Ballad. Either way, before you get there, quite possibly you can punish Talia quite heavily in the jungle. And on top of that, you can punish a lot of things, to be honest, because what is Kha'Zix by design? It is an assassin, and there are already some really good pickups for him. The current double AD carry meta just screams for some good assassins to get into the enemy backlane sneakily from invisibility and remove them from the game. And Kha'Zix, well, he's a perfect champion for that.
2 AD carries, Talia in the jungle, so like AP carry style, you might go towards Zhonya's, but on like what, third item, I assume?
Yeah.
The same comes for Gwen. You are immune of some type of damage, but Kha'Zix could just, you know, ult, hide here, go from the behind, leap out, and then come back. So a lot of opportunities for Krisha to shine in the last match in this very split of Samsung Galaxy Ultraliga. I'm thrilled to see how good of a team devils.one are in the end.
devils.one indeed are playing their last match today. We are going to see Grapeture in the playoffs, but for devils.one, today is the last time we're seeing them this year in Ultraliga, because with that match, after that, the regular split is over and we wave goodbye to them, which means your swan song needs to be as loud as possible. Hopefully, devils.one are going to deliver exactly that to us, but it's up to them and up to the time to prove it.
Oh yeah, and for GRP, it's the last match. I'm not even going to call it a warm-up. They are warmed up. They are ready for the playoffs. It's like the last sparring in football terms, the last sparring before a big match. For me, it feels like it. devils.one is good enough of the opponent to challenge them. A really nice challenging match. That's all GRP needs. But it's not so tough that GRP would experience a stomp, at least in my opinion. The only stomping mechanism I see right now is basically the Kha'Zix, mostly because we didn't see Kha'Zix throughout the whole season.
Yeah, actually. for a really long time. That is true. So maybe it is something that devils.one have thoroughly cooked in preparation for this last match of theirs. Maybe not. We'll see that. Maybe it's just, Krisha said in the end, hey, let me have some fun. And they said, okay, roll with it. There is nothing to lose either way. But I agree with you in the sense that this is the perfect matchup for both of these teams. It is as close as it gets because nobody is closer to Grapeshotcraft than devils.one, both in terms of looking at the scoreboard and in terms of looking at their playstyle and overall success they've managed to find on the Summoners Tree. This is the perfect opponent for them, and right now they are trying to find some perfect engage on the bot lane with Saintu going on to Antonio. A lot of aggression helping Fetsky farm up a little bit, but not really going for any kill confirmed just yet.
Yep, just utilizing the pressure, the advantage coming straight from the level 1 and then into level 2. They are going to be zoning the enemy team out of the access to the wave. Krisha is just going to be peacefully farming till like probably level 6. I'm not thinking about any action coming from the side of Kha'Zix before that. You could potentially go into the enemy jungle, but hey, they already know you started red. They already know that you are somewhere around the blue buff, and Belit, in my opinion, Talia is slightly faster jungler in terms of full clearing than Kha'Zix is.
She is, and for Kha'Zix, he wants to be ganking a lot, but at the same time, if you think about him, if you think about what is going to be happening in this match for him, I feel like the evolutions are going to be super important for him and getting to them as quickly as possible, growing up a pair of new wings, getting the advanced invisibility, getting some more range on his abilities, which means I am expecting to see Krisha farming up a lot, but at the same time, it is very much in style of this jungler to fish for an opportunity on the side lanes whenever such arises. Maybe right now, one arises on the top lane, because I'm looking at the minimap. He is in the bush. He is hunting for Majutek. Majutek, I assume, doesn't have any items. He's only level 3. Doing just a little snip. A goes from Maddox and a flash from Majutek as an immediate answer, and that's gonna be it.
A respectful flash, really good flash for Majutek. I was thinking that Krisha might be waiting the next additional couple of seconds to wait for his leap to come out of the cooldown. He just leaped through the wall to position himself. Rebo doesn't need to position himself with the flash. The Valkyrie is enough.
More than enough, yeah. Just a tiny bit of repositioning right there, and he still keeps the flash, which is the most important thing. But considering how low he is on mana, I would not be surprised if we're going to see a recall pretty soon on the mid lane. Both of the mid laners would be looking for it. I would assume Artoria would like to go back and get his call, but I cannot say it for sure because we are looking at Dr. Pepper. And listen, I love Dr. Pepper personally. It's becoming my favorite soda recently, but I would like to see the items as well.
So you need to vote, everybody. You just need to vote to...
Please.
I don't want to sound mean, but to get rid of Dr. Pepper out of our screens.
To drink it up. Let's put it this way. Oh, look at Ballad. Look at Ballad. I've already seen a jungler in this very bush a little bit earlier, and this jungler was caught on the ward when he left it. Ballad doesn't even need to leave the bush to be caught on a ward that is standing right there, which means no gank on the top lane for the second time already.
And there's information that Belit is indeed on the top side of the map, might allow Krisha to sneak up for the first Drake. You don't need to go through the river, you don't need to expose yourself, you can just leap through the wall with the isolation bonus damage, just quickly get rid of the Drake and leap out of it. So maybe that's the case for Krisha. Right now he's stepping onto the first and the second ward, and coming into a Belit. Feels like they are going to go on a little adventure, but no, Belit is throwing stalls. Hey, get out of here, it's my jungle, just leave my wolves be.
Please leave my puppies. I would like to take them myself. And that means that not only puppies are belonging to Grapeshare, but also the Drake belongs to nobody, but at least it doesn't belong to devils.one, and that is the most important thing. Now, it's not the most potent first Drake, and not enough prior on the bot lane for anybody to really commit to it just yet. So it's up to Belit entirely if he wants to change the course a little bit, maybe help out the bot lane who are just pushing the wave and crushing it into the enemy turret, and after that there could be a dragon angle for Grapeshare.
Should be right now Belit onto the mid lane, probably pushing the wave with Artoria, so they could together go towards the either the Drake or the Grabby, because Belit is taking the curse to the north.
Yes, the Grabbies have actually spawned in the meantime, so that makes a little bit more sense. Considering that Majutek is pushing the top lane right now, has the Prior. Maddox is going to be stuck under the turret with a wave for a little while longer. Perfect timing for Grapeshot to take all 3 Grabbies, while bot lane is still having a lot of fun. Oh my god, Sento is really constantly looking for a way in. I love this guy.
Taking Grabbies right now is even better option than coming straight for the Drake, because you're getting rid of this objective on the top. You can now focus on the bot side of the map, where Israel is constantly pushing Kai'Sa into her own tower. So you have perma prio on the bot lane. Lucian usually gets prio easily on the mid lane, so a really free access for Belit. It should happen within the next minute and a half. The execution of the Drake.
It just needs to finish his red buff right now. Then he can pass straight through the mid lane or through his jungle. Not really much to take in the jungle either, so can pivot towards the bot lane, but would be needed quite possibly on the mid lane right now. Because Krisha was looking for ways, but Arturia has the spider sense. He knows that something is very off. Krisha still hasn't been noticed. Maybe can go on to Belit. Or onto the Scuttlecraft. Works either way. Sento is not losing any time because he knows Belly is around. Belly has the wall. They go into Dancer, making him flash away from the danger. And Croatia is on the mid lane. Take the flash out of Tori and takes the first blood out of him.
Oh, that's a great news for devils when they were struggling in all 3 lanes, but still coming in with the first blood. Antonio, please.
No please for you, because Sento is already around, baby. He's gonna be burning down, but it doesn't matter because he does take Dancer in the end. He is dead though. Croatia is around, looking for Belit, looking for Faetsky. Belit doesn't have any mana. He flashes away together with Faetsky, and that's how they're out.
Ribu? He has flash, so...
yes. Okay. He's fine.
Majutek is not forcing him to use the flash. We are having the replay right now on the situation on the mid lane. Artoria had the ward, but he just had no time to react. No, he had some time to react, but he decided to go for the all-in onto Ribu, and it backfired badly for him.
But that would happen here on the bot lane, because Sento was going in aggressively, you know, all the things we expect from them. But afterwards, devils.one find a kill, but cannot fish for anything else. Could they go a bit further? What do you think?
In my opinion, if Antonio just right now, right here, hit level 6, then yeah, without level 6, Krisha flashing over the wall, putting himself in a 1-against-2 situation. Not ideal for Kha'Zix. He wants to get some isolated fights, preferably. But with the killer instinct available, yes, devils.one players would surely go for the hunt.
You're absolutely right. Yeah, it's only the level 6 on Antonio that was a little bit of bottleneck for them. Interesting enough, even after all these exchanges, the Drake is still standing. It's 10th minute of the game, and nobody has taken the first Drake. I understand we don't like Chemtech Drake that much, but like, that's already bullying a little bit. Like, Ribu is getting bullied right now around the mid lane. Belit and Sento both hunting for him, and finally taking the flash out of that Korotkiy.
That's a great setup for yet another set of Grabbies, maybe, you know, right now burning the flash, leaving Faetsky alone, rotating the support towards the mid to create advantage. Sento is coming back to where he belongs, but still that's a nice information, because Korotkiy without a flash is yet another easy target to pressure on.
So you're saying that supports belong to the bot lane. How about the roaming supports? They are needed everywhere.
I mean, I am a support in heart, I am a support main, but I know where is my place, you know, hand to hand with my beloved AD carry.
What if your AD carry is not delivering? What he's like, oh, I can't really get the kills. I'm losing.
Then you are just changing your friend for another friend. For example, like mid laner, jungler.
Both of you do you have friends in the first place.
But Faetsky is delivering.
True that. Is Belit gonna deliver? Oh my god, this knock up onto Reaper, no flash on him. Oh, that's beautifully done by Creepshow.
That's why you are burning the flash in the first place, and then just perfectly utilizing this position.
The damage from this Kha'Zix onto Belit. Belit was isolated, so easy damage. And now he's out, just like that. Was invisible, goes back onto Arturia. Arturia is isolated, has really little mana, and Grisha takes an easy double kill.
GG. Well played. Go next. It is unplayable. Kha'Zix is 3-0 now, and he's owning the game till the late game.
Ooh, that was really good dodge right there from Fayeski from Dancer. And now Dancer is in danger because Santi is jumping in with the Magnet Storm. Takes the beating. Does it matter if he dies? It does not because he's granting the kill to Fayeski like a true support should. Maybe Fayeski can try to go for Antonio. He deals a lot of damage to him. Oh my god, Antonio barely escapes.
He could have flashed maybe with an auto, but he respects that Antonio still has his barrier, so that would not have been a kill. Would have been a misplay there, but Fesky is overstaying.
Oh, he's going for it.
Baited.
You don't get it, you have to pay for it. Greedy AD carry.
Baited and outsmarted.
Yeah. Outsmarted, outskilled, outplayed 4-0 Kazakhs as a result of it. Thank you very much for the food on the bot lane, Fayeski. You flashed together with a kill, and our Kazakhs is very happy.
So hey, Krisha, you are so strong. Please help us get rid of this dangerous and scary dragon that's been sitting here for like 7 minutes now.
Yeah, please, somebody kill the poor dragon. Thank you. Finally. Oh my god. Next one is going to be the Ocean Drake, which means some really good souls are available for the picking. Yesterday we had so many Cloud Souls, by the way. It was like the majority of the games were just the Cloud Soul. We were getting a little bit bored of it, but something I never get bored of is Kazakhs.
Okay, we are getting the replay of this situation. Belit basically lost 70% of his health pool before being able to try and answer, because I'm not calling it an answer. And Krisha, I said that, okay, he's out. He wasn't out. He felt like, okay, right now, I mean, 1v1 isolated situation, I'm winning those. Like, every time. So let's go.
And that is the replay of the bot lane. It went so well for Gripture. Just not being overly greedy, just not overstaying, being happy with one kill, but no, Fayeski thought he could go for more.
I mean, for this very moment, it was okay. Fetsky just pressuring, just pushing the wave, not overstaying, please, but it just happened. What will happen with Krisha?
They can find Krisha. Krisha is sneaky, but now they know something. Oh, and Senti is going yet again with another Magnet Storm. Dancer is taking the beating. Krisha is jumping in. He is invisible, trying to get away, but that's a little bit too much damage. And Bjerg is unleashed together with Ballad. Snip goes Gwen. Was immune for a little while. Still has a little bit of the needles in her pockets, but they cannot fly that far.
Yeah, that wasn't well coordinated. Krisha was in an awful spot. Everybody was surrounding him. He needed to take action. He decided to use his ultimate, try to sneak somewhere over the wall, but jumped in straight into like, what, 3 or 4 players? We'll see it in a replay. He needed to respond quickly and forced his teammates to go in onto Fetsky, but everybody was trying to protect Fetsky. He died in the end, but for the prize of a one fight for his team.
The whole idea of Kazakhs is that you want to go onto isolated targets as much as possible because it amplifies your damage massively. That's the whole idea of this champion. Unfortunately, when you jump into everybody from the enemy team like that, and you're surrounded by them and there is nobody around to support you, because your front lane had to run away, your back lane can't really fire in that enclosed space, well, the outcome is very obvious. Krisha gave away a pretty nice shutdown for Gripture. And do you remember who got it? Was it Belit?
Wasn't paying attention, but yeah, feels like it was Belit, just looking at the gold right now. I mean, it would have worked if Krisha were level 11. It just wasn't possible. It was too early into the game, but he will be level 11 shortly. If he chooses to evolve his leap, then this type of situations won't be the worst in the Earth for devils.one. Right now, they are trying to set up Herald and a solo ball on the top lane. Yes, please.
Okay, Artoria is down. Gripture, do you want to continue? You might be in the numbers disadvantage if Ruby rotates from the top lane. That's exactly what he is doing. Do not fight for this Herald, they say to themselves. Resist the temptation, go back to the mid lane, find something else to do. Send to resist this temptation too. Don't jump over the wall. He's not gonna do that. Good boy.
Okay, they got Herald, they escaped, they got the solo ball on the top lane. Hey, devils.one are not coming into this game with a mental that, okay, we are out of the playoffs, we are not happy and we are not going to be giving the 100%. No, quite the opposite. They want to show GRP that, hey, you were lucky in the split, you got some wins, that's good for you, but we still were a danger till the end.
That is so true. And that is something so respectful. That is exactly what we wanted to see from devils.one today, pulling out a good fight despite them already being out of the competition for the playoffs. And they're doing that. 8-5 in terms of the kills. The gold gap is extremely small between the teams. Scripture is slightly leading, but with this Herald, devils.one have a really good opportunity to change things for the better and get some gold lead for themselves. And then, who knows, maybe the Drake, it's spawning in less than 40 seconds and devils.one are already clearing the space around it.
But it's not going to be the game centered heavily around the Drakes, mostly because the first one was taking like, what, 12 minutes of the game?
Yeah,
something like
true.
that. So it's not going to be a fast soul, it's not going to be the most important factor of this game, but still feels like the teams are going to be playing around it.
They will. Or at least they will try. You know, you either play around the Drakes or you die trying. And that is the motto for both of the teams, because Grapeshot have taken in their time and their space around the Dragon Pit, have put in some of their vision as well. But devils.one are still at the river. Can they go for this Drake? Can somebody commit to it? Both the top laners are sitting on their teleports, but they're way too busy having a fist fight versus a scissor fight, however you want to call it. So devils.one want to have a push onto the turrets instead.
Yeah, skipping onto the Drake, as I have just mentioned, it's not going to be the most important factor for this game, but still, that's going to be the trigger for this fight.
Dancer finds Center, Krisha finds Bally. That's exactly how you use this champion. Invisible again, looking for Center, who is burning, by the way, or looking for anybody, doesn't find anybody, but it's only because Grapeshot are running away from him.
Alright, so Krisha didn't go for the second evolve for his leap. He decided to go for his W. Makes sense. More damage, more opportunities to poke enemies, to create the distance because of the slow and the AoE effect. He's most probably going for the leap as a third upgrade. I assume. I didn't see Kha'Zix in ages, so maybe the meta shifted. Maybe he had something different in mind. I don't believe that you need your Q evolved. You already have enough, maybe even more than enough damage, so the utility coming from the leap reset would be better.
Quite possibly, but we will have to see what the decision making for Krisha is going to be in the end. He is 6-1, he can afford a little bit of the wiggle room when it comes to pretty much any of his choices. Sitting on 2 items, already a really strong point for the devils.one jungler. Can they capitalize on that fact? I wonder, and everybody wonders, because Grapeshot are still really confident about how they're moving around the map. They are still maintaining a lot of control over it, both in terms of the vision and in terms of them moving in, constantly pushing in the waves. If you look at the side lanes right now, they have pushed in a lot and they continue pivoting towards the side lanes a lot.
But playing through the side lanes is, on the one hand, a really good approach, because you have Gwen, you have Lucian, you have Rel that could be just shadowing and trying to be a support behind your back. But on the other hand, you are allowing Krisha to sneak up behind you. And yeah, you might be thinking, oh, I'm winning this 1v1, I'm pushing it, I'm doing good, the coach will be happy. No. Kha'Zix appears, deletes you, and the whole side lane idea shuttles.
And the coach is not happy, and I feel like that is the most important thing we need to highlight. You don't want to make your coach unhappy, guys. It's dangerous.
And we had like 4 or maybe even 5 times the coach of devils.one, Shopilty, in our interview. And if they are about to win, he's probably going to come once again, and we might have an opportunity to ask if he's happy or not with the result. Not making playoffs is definitely not the reason to be happy, but overall performance of his players. But we have like 50% chance for one of the devils.one players or coaching staff members to appear, because this game is far from over.
Yes, there is barely any goal difference right now between the teams. might be changed because Senti is walking right into Croatia. Takes only a tiny bit of beating and scares him away from this part of the jungle. devils.one are pushing in onto Artoria on the top lane. A lot of damage onto that. Lucian needs to heal up, needs to run away because Ribu could take him down. Still had one more upgraded shot of the ultimate that would have been more than enough, but cannot fire it. What Garipcha, however, can do right now is maybe die to Croatia. Or maybe not die. Maybe I should kill him because nobody's isolated and they take down the jungler of devils.one and they continue. Sento jumping in yet again. Ballet is down. He went golden, but it wasn't for long enough. Dancer is dead, and that is going to be some more kills for Grapecho.
I don't know, feels like Krusha misplayed it, and feels like unfortunate situation right now for devils.one because they cannot defend the tier 1. Ribu can take the tier 2 on the top lane, so that's a good information, and maybe get rid of the attacking members. No,
that is going to be Xante down. devils.one are pretty often taking the fights that they cannot really win in this game. Those individual leaps that they take towards Gravecraft are resulting in them giving away a lot prior.
I don't know why on earth did Krisha use his W so early. Dancer wasn't in the position to follow him, so he went basically alone onto Israel, onto the safest AD carry pick on the world.
Decisions, and sometimes decisions are not the best. Sometimes they're a little bit faster than you are, and you cannot really follow up with them. And by the time you're done, you are done for good. Just like it's happening with Ballet right now. Removed from the game extremely quickly. Is Senti going to be the next one? Jumping on Tontuno, takes the flash out of the enemy AD carry, and nonchalantly walks away.
Perfect solar flare onto Ballet. I have not seen the better solar flare in like weeks. It was like in the center, so nice pick up onto enemy jungler allows you to go into the nashor. But are you sure about this?
Are you sure about that? Because Senti is around. Maddox is front laning, but taking beating from Faetsky because he's firing non-stop. We're looking at the bot lane where Mietek is winning against Reboot. That is nice to know, but devils.one take it as a sign to go away from the Baron Pit, and Senti is making sure that nobody is recalling too close to it. Still fighting for something, still hunting for somebody. Doesn't find anybody. Just a little bit of bidding here and there. Senti is playing so aggressively today, but that's the usual Wednesday for Senti.
Sento is zoning 2-3 players all by himself.
And they cannot do anything to him. Look at this guy. He only has Warmogs completed. Oh, he has the full Warmogs completed. And that's more than enough for him to not be afraid of any beating whatsoever.
Yep, he was just zoning them, stopping some recalls. Mietek taking on tier 2. The rest of the team following shortly towards the Drake. Krisha right now on the hunt.
For Mietek.
No, too far away,
Yes, and Gwen is immune. You can upgrade your W all you want, but Gwen doesn't care about that because she is immune and you cannot really hit her unless you jump right on top of her.
And that would be scary because you didn't know the position of the rest of the GRP team members. So overall, GRP made a huge step towards taking the lead in this game, not only taking the Drake, but actually some of the kills, stopping the Nashor, solo bolo by Mietek. Right now this Gwen has, oh my god, almost a completed Rabadon already.
That is a really scary Gwen. That is a Gwen that can solo bolo games. The moment this Rabadon is completed, and that's why she's staying on the side lanes right now to get as much farm as possible. The moment this Rabadon happens, could be game over for devils.one. I'm not saying it is game over, but it could be as well. But right now, the stakes are still around. This Baron Pit and Grapecho have good position towards it, but are slowly but surely leaving it. Now Senti is gonna be caught and delete it. This is a -1 for Grapecho. Krisha yet again on the hunt for somebody on the flank. He finds Artoria, but Artoria is not isolated. Krisha, you should not be going like that there alone. Artoria finds in Antonio going in with the killer zing, so he is getting some really good follow-up from the rest of the team, and Grapecho are running in a completely wrong direction, but gonna be caught away from the devils.one with the Weaver's Wall. Is it gonna buy them enough time for Mietek to join in? Maybe Mietek is going to save the team, and now the TP is coming in full devils.one. Are they going to keep fighting here in this spot? Mietek says yet. Mietek says Yes, I am going in. I am throwing in so much damage with the needlework, but gonna get stunned, gonna get deleted. Krisha and Bellied having a standoff, and both of them are going to go down. It's only Maddox who's alive and Fansky, but Fansky is still running away from the minions and from Antonio. Most likely Antonio is gonna get him right here, right now. Really good jump right there from Fansky. Grumpy's helping him out. Actually, he's zoning him. He's covering for you, but Maddox is right on the tail of Fansky. No mana for this Ezreal. Just one hop is all that he has, but he's still running. Oh my god, he's still running in circles, in circles, in circles. Can he get away from them? No!
No.
Oh my god.
He couldn't get away in the end, and we are having an instant replay of this situation that lasts for so long. Firstly, Majutek TP'd on the top lane, trying to reinforce the team, then playing as a front laner right now, coming into 3 or 4 carries of the enemy team, getting rid of 2 of them. It was a good play for him, but not enough for his teammates to finish the job. In the end, Bellied getting 1 additional elimination onto Krisha, and that settles it. Fetsky was trying so desperately to run for his life, but with such a low amount of mana and pretty much no summoners, that was mission impossible.
He did take all the time though. He did make sure that devils.one going to have some really long chase into him. However, as a result of it, first of all, the Baron is still standing. Nobody has been able to take that piece down. Second of all, it's 16-12. There is almost no goal difference. A little bit for Grapecraft, I gotta say. Okay, no, you know what? There is a little bit of goal difference, but it's 28 minutes in the game. What does 1,000 mean per team? Absolutely nothing. Maybe what is going to mean right now is Tensor going in, but devils.one, it looks like they just want to threaten this turret and then re-engage onto something else. What is it gonna be?
Not sure about this 1k gold difference, but I am sure of one thing. With Rabadon's Death Cap and level 16, yeah.
Yeah,
Oh,
Majutek is unleashed. The Gwen has been unbenched. The Gwen is now a solid solo player. The Gwen can now carry this game if Majutek is allowed to do so, and if he is careful with the control from devils.one, because last time on the top lane, he was controlled quite heavily and went down after only scoring 1 kill.
He has nice teammates to play around. For example, Sentu creating chaos, Bellied creating some area control, definitely so that nobody could jump onto Gwen as fast as possible. Fetsky and Artoria providing some damage. That's a nice setup for team fights overall, and we could argue that only Rel is the engaging tool, but hey, if you know Sentu, you know that's enough.
That's more than enough, brother. That's more than anybody could have asked for. But right now, Grapecraft will have to ask Sentu very nicely to go in. And again, he does exactly that! With a Magnet Storm right into the pit. Is gonna go down, but doesn't matter because Grapecraft continue to advance. They are an avalanche right now that is destroying devils.one and their hopes and dreams of getting this Baron. Reaper and Antonio both are still alive though. Now, full health, by the way. They could go into Grapecraft. They have the range. They have a lot of damage onto them. And that's why Grapecraft cannot commit to the Baron, but boy oh boy did they commit to this fight.
Yeah, once again Sentu, oh my god, we are all clapping for this engaged job, well done. The team just were like 1 step too far back to follow it up completely. In the end, 1 fight, in the end, nice attempt, but you don't have the Nash and the enemy team is getting the Drake, so do you really count it in as a win?
Oh, that's a good question. I don't know. You are the caller today, so you would have to answer your own question for me.
I would say that's almost a draw, but in terms of devils.one getting the 3rd Drake, that is so important. Not the first, not the second, it's the 3rd Drake. It actually favors them. It gives them some more time for Krisha to hit level 16. 15 right now, so still 1 full level to go to a 3rd evolve. They need a couple of minutes to be fully ready for the next upcoming fight. And hey, yes, Gwen is so powerful, but how much more powerful can Majutek be right now with almost 4 items completed? He's at his fullest.
And on top of that, if devils.one continue keeping him on the side lanes, he doesn't have TP. He's only half of the cooldown. Maddox, for example, does have a TP, so if they continue having a one-on-one standoff on the bot lane, it could be a situation where devils.one could bring in one more member towards the fight, much easier than Cryptocraft can do that themselves. But there is also a Reaper on the bot lane. It looks like maybe they want to assault Majutek together. Not sure yet. They will not be able to do so. They will just threaten the wave a little bit. Can we please see the Baron happening in this game? Because the tension is extremely high around this speed, around this part of the map. Both the teams are constantly dancing around it, putting in the vision, but not committing to it. Maybe now we will see some commitment from Majutek towards the wave. That's not what I was talking about, but okay, we take it.
Ribu is investing so much time trying to create this setup, create this trap for Majutek to go win. He's still playing in the fog of war right now, showing himself.
Not anymore, but Gwen is immune. Why are you firing at her, my friend? You cannot do anything to her, and Majutek is done with Maddox in the meantime. Now fighting with Ribu, and so up close, can you really say anything to that Gwen?
So you spent over a minute trying to set up a trap for a Gwen, and when you find the opportunity to go in, you got hit by the train.
Yeah, and it was a pain train, my brother. Now Grapecho, knowing that they have a massive numbers advantage, are starting the Baron. Mind you, Majutek is still on the bot lane, but there is a really good ultimate coming in. Antonio is in the back lane. What are you doing there, my brother? Dying is the answer. Danza is going to be the next one on the menu, and Christian needs to run away invisible, but the wall is going to cut him away from the safety belly with the flash forward coming in onto him, and that is an ace for Grapecho.
Antonio felt like a hero in this very play, but he wasn't Superman, he wasn't immortal, it just wasn't enough for him to get rid of all 4 members of GRP Esports. Oh, Cento is going to die due to the Nashor, but it's not a problem because they have won this fight so hard. Once again, Antonio, what was that? It wasn't the game-winning play.
No, and I have questions about the decision-making from devils.one right there, especially since they just lost to when this fight started, and then deciding to still take it regardless of whatever is going on. That means that Grapecho have the Baron buff right now on everybody except Sentu, but it's okay, they can leave without a Baron buff on their support if they have it on Gwen and both of their AD carries. That also means that there is a pretty big gold lead for Grapecho.
Oh yeah, finally. You were asking for the Nash. We got the Nash, we got the lead, we got everything that is showing us completely that GRP Esports are in the lead. Gwen, 4.5 items. Try and stop that. Good luck. Both carries pretty much on 4 items. I mean, Fetsky is still short on the BT, like a couple hundred, but that's not really a big overdeal for them. GRP Esports taking complete control over the map. I don't know how devils.one could even look for an equalizing situation. They don't have the great engage tools, they don't have great disengage tools, and they are lacking on some wave clear. So it's going to be really tough next minute and a half.
They have some really good poke, with Antonio going into an AP build with Ribu. Don't mind me, Ribu is dead. They don't have the poke from Korotkiy anymore. Doesn't matter. Grapecho continue their avalanche onto the enemy base. Gonna destroy the outer turret on the mid lane, maybe on the bot lane as well, because Majutek is fighting with 2 right now. Gwen is immune, but this time everybody's up close with her. Snip, snip, snip. They'll work onto Maddox, almost finishes him. Christian next one on the menu, and now the rest of the cavalry quite literally has the right to finish everyone else. It's the second ace of this game, and it is a victory for Grapecho.
So maybe it was even, maybe it was close, maybe it was tough, but in the end it's the better team winning, taking control over the map, showing us that they deserved to be in playoffs.
Yes. I mean, we knew that already, right? It's not like they needed to prove anything to us, but maybe to themselves, maybe to the enemy team. However it is in the end a really good victory for Grapecho, being always in a very slow but steady control of the game, being a little bit ahead of the opponent, and then finding a moment to stop the snowball.
Yeah, but being a little bit ahead over the opponent while having Gwen, while having incredibly good scaling on your side, and the enemy team has Kha'Zix that is good in the early, in the mid game, but later on, as you are grouping, he's not doing the job that he's designed to do.
Yeah, he simply cannot do that job anymore. He would love to, but he cannot. And with some mishaps from Krisha in some parts of the game, plus with him taking in so much resources into himself, pretty much hoarding all the money that the team had, while the game went so far into the late game when he simply couldn't deliver because there is another champion. It's just a series of unfortunate events for devils.one that led to their ultimate demise.
And that's it for this best of one. That's it for our analysis. Now let's get deeper into what happened in this match with the guest of today's interview. And it's going to be the AD carry. It's going to be Fetsky. Hello.
Hello.
Long time no see. I do believe that I had an interview with you in the second division like a year ago. First of all, congratulations on this win and congratulations in making the playoffs in this very split. This split, the summer GRP Esports are looking way better than what we saw before. Even just looking at you evolving as a player right now, being the super carry for the team. Do you feel like this position suits you? Do you feel good in the position that the team is actually wants you to be the hyper carry, to do this very cool and aggressive stuff?
Yeah, I mean, as you said, we had an interview before, and as I said back then, I have the ego, and I think I have the talent to back it up. So it suits me well, I think, to play these kind of chaps that can go in and just ball.
It does feel so, honestly. And that's a really bold statement. I like it. But I gotta ask you, for you personally and for your team, how prepared are you for the playoffs, and how different is the mental preparation for the playoffs compared to the best of ones?
I mean, for me personally, we have like a Google Drive with all our draft prep, and then I have like my own folder, and it's just like 50 pictures of Seraphine. So I'd say we're pretty ready.
50 is probably enough. 50 is probably enough for that. All right. Besides the preparation for the playoffs, I will just quickly jump into our DMs because I have received an interesting message from you, Fetsky, that if you make playoffs, am I going to take you on a party tour in Poland? Is it still on?
Absolutely. I can't wait.
All right, so we agreed on that. Maybe do you plan doing it in the finals when you are going to reach the finals, or before that to get an extra motivation?
I mean, we can do both before and after. I don't really mind. Depends on when we arrive.
All right, I will be waiting for this moment.
We all will be waiting for this moment. I will not be able to join you, but I will request some pictures from both of you in my DMs, please. Fetsky, thank you so much for coming to this interview with us. And before we can let you go, if you have any greetings or shout outs to give, maybe even in your native language, please do so right now.
Shout out to my team, shout out to my fans, shout out to the team's fans especially, and skud till min gode vänner som altid ser min kamp. Det värsta där.
Awesome. Thank you so much, Fetsky. We will see you in the playoffs. Good luck in your preparation and good luck in the upcoming games.
See you guys.
See you.
All right, and he actually, just for the record, he did ask me to go for a tour in Poland as they arrive for the playoffs, and I said to him, okay, if you qualify for playoffs, then we could have a talk. And they did qualify, so now I have fulfilled my half of this promise.
Yeah. You should, Majutek. I hope you are prepared. I hope you're going to prepare a really good trip for him. You know, you're going to be a good tour guide. I'm counting on you.
I don't know how much time could Fetsky have, because, you know, they still need to prepare, maybe a boot camping here and there, play some scrims, but if they will arrive at the LAN event, regarding if they are going to advance or not, I'm going to take care not only of Fetsky, but of all the guys from Ultraliga. I'm really looking forward this very LAN event, but I'm also looking forward the next games of today. So how about we go on a quick break and come back to you shortly.
Sí, ¿vos de qué parte sos?
Yo de aquí.
Ah, mira,
¿Tú de qué parte eres?
del norte.
my best intro ever.
Yeah, not bad, hey, not bad. Same. I can go pro. You know it as well. I also know you can dance. You should join me next time. And yes, I feel like you've also deserved a bit of a break. You've earned it.
Thanks.
Even the biggest champ needs a break.
Good job.
Hey, thank you.
Wjedź do elektryzującego świata esportu i zagraj z nami. Moc energii zapewnia elektryczna Kia EV6.
We are back after the 2 games of today, 2 games up ahead of us, the last 2 games of the regular season, and it's not going to change much into the standings as we have just discussed, but it might change some things in terms of like MVP standings, KDA, overall feeling and preparation before coming into the playoffs.
Quite possibly, because we still have some really interesting games ahead of us and some more chances for the teams who are sitting at the bottom of the scoreboard to prove themselves. Right now, this is going to be such a chance for Iron Wolves, who are unfortunately 1-12 with a dashing 11 losses lose streak.
Oh, yeah. I'm just looking at Zero Tenacity with 11 games of win streak, and on the other hand,
Ooh.
Iron Wolves 11 games of lose streak. Yeah,
Polar
that's
opposites.
just
That's
opposite.
rough.
I
Yeah.
mean, just looking at Forsaken, their current form and the fact that they have the top laner that they didn't have much time to prepare stuff together, but it is a top laner in the end, so you don't need that much of a synergy as, for example, for a jungler or mid laner. It would have been possible to beat them, but is it for Iron Wolves?
I feel like
Yeah.
the answer is not really, to be honest. Iron Wolves have a disastrous split this time. I'm afraid I don't see them winning this one against Forsaken, who are now confirmed to be a top 3 team in Ultraliga. Iron Wolves haven't been able to beat anybody. Only one victory through the whole split. It tells you a lot about how unprepared they feel compared to everybody else.
Oh yeah, it just for me it just feels like they created this team with mostly friends and connections. Like, hey, we have this slot in the Ultraliga. We've been playing like a year ago, 2 years ago. Please come and play. You are a decently good player. Maybe it will work. But without the coach, not sure about the screens or preparation right now, without the will to win, without the motivation to once again be playing on 100% of your possibilities. For me, it just feels like Forsaken should get this win within like 20-25 minutes.
To be absolutely fair, there is still something that I'll be looking forward to in this game, and that is the draft from Iron Wolves. Because yesterday, in their game versus Back to the Game, it was an extremely similar situation. They had absolutely nothing to lose anymore, and that's why they went a little bit loose. They were lane swapping, they pulled out bullets, crying for their support, and they were just generally having fun with the Summoners Rift. They still lost that game, but it was a really fun game. And I hope that this game today is going to be the same.
Yeah, I'm hoping for the same, Solari, as you. I'm hoping for the game out of the standards of playing League. Mix your positions, mix your champions, maybe play without a jungler. We really don't mind it, because
Yes.
if you are going to say goodbye to this split and maybe even to the first division of Ultraliga, because Iron Wolves are going to play in the promotion tournament between the first and second division, then you have two options. Either say goodbye in style after a really, really close fight with Forsaken, maybe potentially even a win, or just give us another opportunity to have the fun of our lives.
And have fun on Summoner's Rift yourself. Because League of Legends can be a very exhausting game. It can be really demanding on you physically and mentally, especially. So those occasions when you have fun on Summoner's Rift, they should be cherished. And you can create these opportunities yourself. As you said it yourself, Majutek, absolutely nothing to lose anymore. So go out in style. This is their last game this year in Ultraliga. Make it count.
Oh yeah, I am really, really looking toward it. I'm not even going to predict the picks that might come. I'm expecting everything from Timo to like 5 global ultimates just to randomly appear on someone, with like Pantheon and Twisted Fate and I don't know, Cartus ulting from the fountain. Everything is possible right now. As for Forsaken, that's yet another best of one, yet another map to gain a little bit better connection with your top laner.
Yes, I just wanted to say they can trade as kind of another practice for them with their top laner to get a little bit more acquainted with Ilma, who is just joining the first division and just joining the Forsaken team. Has been playing in TCL, just to remind everybody, and before that in LCKCL, but has taken a little bit of break this year and now is finally joining Forsaken in the very end of the regular split. But let's see how this draft is going to trade him and everybody else, because so far the bans are really the usual ones. LeBlanc plus Brian from the side of Forsaken, Maokai and Tristana from the side of Wolves.
Yeah, bans are pretty much standard, nothing to discuss about. So somebody could ask about the LeBlanc, but yeah, it is kind of a tax while playing against certain mid laners. You need to ban certain champions, and LeBlanc happens to be the one for Domas. So now going with Leona, we didn't see this ban in the first rotation for quite some time. Usually teams are taking it in the first rotation of picks, but not this time, as Forsaken decided it's not going to be a match with Leona, but hey, with Zyra open,
it's gonna be a match with Zyra. Apparently, Forsaken are playing serious so far, locking in Zyra for Zioner. Nothing unusual and extremely strong. Jungler still should have the 100% win rate in Ultraliga. If I'm wrong, somebody for sure is going to correct me, but I don't feel like I am.
I can quickly check this statistic and correct you if
you.
you're wrong.
Oh,
Zyra
nice.
currently is 100% win ratio. You were right.
See, Zyra, just a silly, funny champion in the jungle, and ironically fun to play her. If I were still playing League of Legends, I would actually be really mad with her having so much popularity, because that means that the nerfs are coming, which would hit me, but I don't play League of Legends, so I'm good.
Yeah, we are just happily watching, casting, and having fun, while the others, athletes, esportsmen, are providing the entertainment for us.
And I already see some entertainment, because yes, Zeri for Roof, nothing unusual, but Morgana for Jinxes, most likely. We have already seen this pick from him, but she can still be flexed to Ent if they want to, or even to Domas, but if this Morgana stays in the jungle, that is a really good answer into Zyra.
But that's an interesting approach, because nobody was expecting Morgana this high. It doesn't make a lot of sense to lock in her so early. Maybe a different champion, maybe a support, maybe a mid laner, maybe something else, and just leave Morgana for the 4th pick for your team, just to drop it randomly and make Forsaken think like, okay, why this Morgana and how are we going to play around it? Right now they still have some time to figure out a way with which champion to answer.
They do, and I hope we'll see some interesting answers because so far we see some picks. We see the mid lane pick most likely for Forsaken, which is gonna be Lucian. We see the top lane locked in for both of the teams with Renekton for Ilma and Gna for Anax. Nothing unusual, nothing interesting there, but that still means that we have the bot lane fully open for the side of Forsaken, and we'll still need to decide for their support and their mid lane, unless again they are rotating Morgana towards one of these roles.
Might be, not sure about the Morgana mid lane. I mean, playing against Lucian would be the hardest job to do is to land your binding, basically. You cannot outpush him, cannot outtrade him, cannot out-sustain him, even though you have your passive. I don't believe it will happen, so most likely Morgana into the jungle. Speaking about the bot lane, nothing has been picked for Forsaken just yet. They lost Ashe, they lost Kalista, they are banning even Nautilus, as we see right now. So a little bit limited options for both Tongi and Parasite, but just knowing this duo, there are no limitations for them.
With Zeri taken out by Roof already, that means that, for Tongi, the options are extremely limited. I love this Blitzcrank ban, by the way, from Forsaken after yesterday's game, and had so much fun on this champion on the top lane, funnily enough, together with Roof, that it makes a good ban from Forsaken side.
And also banning Blitzcrank might lead us into like a Milio pick or something like that. Usually you are picking Blitzcrank against Milio. Milio works well with the Lucian. Milio works well against Gnar or Morgana if he's not hit by any of the CCs and he actually can react with his ultimate. So that's an interesting stuff. But I don't think that's the spot for the Milio. I believe that you're still going with something like Alisia or Braum. You know, the usual stuff.
Yeah, the usual. They have to pick their support blindly, but they're hovering between two options, and honestly, both of them are going to work. I might be a little bit biased here towards Rakan a little bit more than Rel, simply because it's going to be such a good engage and it's going to work so well with everybody on their team, but it's ultimately up to Forsaken to decide what Parasites wants to be playing as today.
I would personally go with Rakan as well, but Parasite decides otherwise.
Yeah, he wants to go with Rel, a little bit more of the front lane situation. Cannot blame them for that. They have 3 glass cannons on their side already, plus 1 bruiser. Having additional front lane is going to be really nice. And here is the Alistar that you wanted to see in Parasite's hands. Honestly, same, but it is going to be the pick for ends.
And that's a great answer for Rel. Not too much to add into it. And follow up to the engage coming from the side of Iron Wolves, because the engage is optional. It's either going to be Alistar with a Hex Flash or Flash combo into someone, followed up by the binding, and you are dead because the binding lasts like 3 seconds. So it's going to be really tough to be playing against it. Then you have the optional version with a Gnar and his Mega Form. Interesting approach to be engaging team fights, especially in Nashor or the Drake Pit. So a lot of options for Iron Wolves. They decided to not troll and be playing, Teemos and 5 AD carries and stuff like that. They decided, okay, so if we are still out, if we are on the last place, if we have nothing to lose, then maybe just play for Forsaken, with Forsaken, give them an opportunity to test their top laner in one additional map.
Thank you very much, Wolves, should be the answer from Forsaken. But we'll see if it's going to be the case or not. So far, nothing too unusual in the drafts. The Morgana in the jungle is pretty much the only thing that stands out. I would love to see some additional control with her on the team of Wolves, just to make sure that she has some setup for her binding, but it is what it is.
It is what it is, and everybody, it is match number 3 of today's broadcast. Forsaken without any chances of making the second place, because Back to the Game simply has more wins in the second half of the split, so they are either way going to end up on the 3rd place, facing GRP Esports in the playoff stage, and Iron Wolves. I mean, that's the last approach to these splits. That's maybe even the last approach in the matches of the first division, because in the end of the split, they are going to be fighting to keep the spot in the promotion tournament.
You make it sound a little bit gloomy, but I totally get where exactly you're coming from. The situation for Wolves, not just in this split, but in general in this season, is a very sad one. But it's nothing we can influence. We can only watch them and hope that they're going to provide us with some really good League of Legends game today and see how Jenxes is going to feel on this Morgana pick with an electrocute. I am expecting a lot of Morgana action on the sidelines, because when you go with this pick, with this Keystone, you can't just sit in the jungle and power farm.
I mean, Electrocute is an interesting choice for Morgana because you can proc it fairly easily with like one auto and your W. Just, okay, I missed my Q, the gank is off, but I can still do some damage by proccing the Electrocute. And maybe with this amount of poke, I can help out my laner. By the way, Renekton decided to start with an E, slices in, dices over Arnax's head, and now trying to get to level 2. So maybe, just maybe, figure out a way to get a solo bolo first blood.
You could go for solo bolo. I can see the world where it happens, and it's going to feel rather personal. But before that, some personal stuff is happening on the bot lane. Parasite going to Ends after Ends tried to go with an engage and couldn't really find any good opening. A little bit of damage here and there. Ends has taken quite a beating and needs to be drinking the health pots already, but no kill pressure as of yet.
I mean, usually you are approaching the...
Wait, Thomas?
Thomas, don't be trading so aggressively.
Yeah, and... what is going on? Why is he getting so much beating from Lucian on this lane? This is Jace. Jace is supposed to be really far from this Lucian, but Ruffin is taking full control over this lane.
Maybe even Ravbin could potentially look for even more damage. You know, Q through creeps as this. Then a W somewhere, you know, try to go for the double auto. That's an opportunity to be playing this situation, but Ends is coming from behind.
Ruffin is under the turret already, scaring away Doma, zoning him out, but that might be a bad idea because yes, Ends is here, but it doesn't look like anything is gonna happen there. But on the top lane it might, because Onyx is trying to jump away, cannot do it, and it's a first blood for Ilma.
And pretty much executed perfectly. I mean, Renekton didn't even have to tank anything. Look at the gigantic minion wave that's just dying from the tower. And Arnax has no TP. Arnax TP'd like a couple of seconds before that. Right now, he's suffering so badly onto the top lane.
Bot lane might be suffering though, because Ants just went in and he janks with the flash forward, misses the binding.
If we were to be playing football, that would be a goal. A perfect goal in the middle of the goal, actually. But in League of Legends, you need to hit your targets, not in between them, just as the Honor did. Perfectly waiting for the right moment to use your E, and the rest is history.
That's true. Maybe now we're gonna see a little bit more history, because Ents is again trying to go in with a Hex Flash, and Jenks is on the lane as well. But Forsaken are bringing their own forces. Parasite is taking a lot of beating, by the way, but Ziona is already around, going to root Ants, and that is going to be a kill confirmed for Parasite, who is going to fall right after that. But now Roof needs to pop the barrier because he is taking so much damage. It's a little bit more than he can take, actually. Another really good root onto Jenks' Morgana, trying to run around, but there are so many flowers around, too many to escape.
Oh my god, it will be so tough for Iron Wolf right now to do anything. Jenksas without the flash, you know, losing his life in the process of ganking the bot lane. Tongi 201 Kaisa in the 5th minute. And then on the top lane, potential for another solo bolo, but Renekton decided not. Rafin says, hey, if you're not going to solo kill the enemy, I'm going to do so.
Yeah, he does so, and finally Thomas is dead. Thomas flashed right before the death, by the way, which makes it even more painful. Wolves are now on the top lane. Jenks is covering for Onyx as much as possible, making sure he at least gets the recall. So no death happening there. We expected a solo ball on the top lane. It did come from the mid lane instead in the end, but now Forsaken They're fishing for something. Are they looking for jinxes? Ah, but they find ends in the end. Doesn't matter who they were looking for. They find the cow. They found the support of the enemy team. Not gonna be found by jinxes. The binding does not hit yet again. And they're fighting now because Ilma is around going in onto ends. And that is going to be one dead cow for you. Call it a steak because somebody is very hungry, but he's taking their time. They're playing with their food. Can you finish him already? Thank you.
Yep.
Gosh, that took a lot of time.
Yep, no problem. They just wanted to make sure that the owner is the one getting the kill in this situation. 7th kill for Forsaken already in this very match. Feels like a stomp for me. And I was saying, if Forsaken were to take this completely seriously, they are going to win within the 20-25 minutes. For now, it feels like, yeah, I was right in my prediction.
So far, you look to be absolutely correct. 71, this is 8 kills, this is almost 7 minutes ratio, a really good one. Now might be changed on the mid lane because Domas is fighting, but Get plus Parasite is around. Robin still dealing a lot of damage, but a little bit too much onto him with an Ignite. It is going to be the shutdown for Domas. But now he needs to run away, but cannot because Parasite is gotta seal the deal. It's 2 kills already for the support of Forsaken.
Yep, Parasite is leading the charge, obviously, as he's playing well. He's pretty much everywhere from the bot lane to the top lane almost, because they were fighting in the northern side of enemy jungle. He's doing basically anything he wants.
Oh, yeah. Tongi, you gotta get away from it somehow. He has the flash, has the barrier. He uses the flash to get away from the binding. So far, 0. I believe, from Jinxes getting onto the enemies. Now Ants gets onto the enemy Tongi, still firing back, has the barrier, so feels very confident, has the owner and Parasite around, so they can even turn around on the walls if they want to, and they want to. They are going in and very good engage from Parasite, Ants taking a very heavy beating from the owner, and he's gonna go down. Roof goes into the ultimate right before dying.
10-2. That's all I have to say right now. Maybe even Renekton is going to put yet another elimination, but I see Domas rotating towards the top lane, so Renekton needs to decide. Are you going in now, or are you fighting 1v2?
Oh, tough choice, but he's propping the Dominus. It's gonna be pinned against the wall by Anax. You are not getting out of that, my friend.
That was a tough situation. Maybe he was thinking about flashing out for a second, but didn't have the full information about Morgana, so didn't want to jump right into 1v3, which would have been even worse for him. Iron Wolves trying to respond here and there with 3 eliminations thus far in this game, but it's not helping whatsoever. Solari is already 5k.
And it's only 9 minutes in the game. This game is accelerating way faster than we could have expected, and Wolves are trying to find some answers to Forsaken's onslaught towards themselves, but cannot because Forsaken are more prepared. But maybe now they will be able to catch the owner. Finally, the binding from Jinx is gonna land onto the additional control, and the owner is going extremely low. However, at the same time, Robin is almost taking Domus down. Can they continue? Parasite says yes, of course, thank you very much. Jumps onto Jinx, says there is Roof, however, dealing a lot of damage with the ultimate. Rafi needs to get away, needs to be really careful. Guess who doesn't need to be careful? Ilma going in, slices and dices and cuts through, and Ilma, however, right after that needs to flash away. They leave Parasite to die, but at least Ilma and Rafin survive.
Right, Forsaken started to trolling a little bit. They are right now just taking every fight possible with the enemy team and trying to skill check all over the Summoner's Rift, but in the end still maintaining the basics of League of Legends. Yeah, my support is rotating towards the mid, but I am stronger, so I need to be applying more and more pressure, as Tongi just got his 3rd plate for himself.
Which means a lot of gold for the Kai'Sa, which is good news, but now might be bad news. Instead, has the barrier, but has ends around as well. But no, with Parasite visible on the wall, they don't want to overstep, and Zero is around as well. Forsaken yet again have the chance to turn this all around. Don't catch ends, doesn't matter. I am corrected immediately. They do catch ends, they do delete him from the game for another time.
And that's the problem of Alistar. If you want to go in, you have all the skill set in the world for a perfect engage. If you want to go out, then good luck. You press your right mouse button and pray that enemy team doesn't hit you as hard as they are. Either way.
Parasite was going very aggressively onto Domus, and I got caught there for a second off guard, but his AD carry had the ultimate, and Parasite had faith in his AD carry, and that is exactly what happened there on the bot lane. A full turret, by the way, for Chongi solo Bolo. That's a lot of gold. His next recall is going to be extremely juicy.
And they are probably not even giving up on this Grabis, as Renekton level 9 is still hovering around. Zyra is really close by. Maybe in time to interrupt.
Maybe. Ents is trying to stop Ilma there. There's a lot of wolves in this grubby spot. Ziona, though, is around as well. It's not going to be caught by the ultimate from Morgana. Ilma, though, is in dominance, but is running away. Parasite is here trying to help his top laner. Goes in with the Magnet Storm. So much control from that rail paired up with the damage, and wolves cannot confirm any kill.
Yeah, but they did confirm takeover of 3 Grabbies. That's at least something for them. It's not like it's going to help them right now, but at least it will stop snowballing for Forsaken. Pongi, man, stop!
Oh my god, they don't let this guy leave roof. Now pops the barrier. It doesn't matter. The last auto attack from Tongi catches up with him. 2 kills more for Tongi. 7-0-2 is the guy approaching his second item already.
Tongli, stop bullying them. They just want to play League and have some fun. You're not allowing them whatsoever. Basically rolling over everybody, taking the tower solo, taking 7 kills, the second item already. And the rest of the team, yeah, hunting for Domas.
Oh, yeah. He got stuck in that bush and he got knocked out by Zioner's ultimate, and he is dead as a result of it. Forsaken take a kill and they disengage. They don't want any unfold actions.
Yep, 1 elimination is enough for them, for now at least, because they are moving straight towards the Drake. It's not even minute 14. They are not even done with the play. Just look at the mid tower. Tongi is still greedy for the gold, even though he has 2 full items. He's not done collecting more money for himself.
He wants to be the biggest guy in the Summoners Rift this time, and honestly, it is very respectful. He is on his way there. Domus, though, is not. Quite the opposite. Rapid and Parasite both onslaught him right under his very turret. This is 5th death for him already. Might be a death for Chonky, or it might not be. Binding is not long enough to stop this guy. Maybe the Onyx can stop Ilma, because this Renekton Dominus in slices, dices away Onyx with a flash forward, secures a solo bolo on the top lane.
Alright, that's something. I mean, getting a solo bolo here, that's an interesting stuff, especially for Arnax. That's the individual play for Iron Wolves, I assume. It's not going to be a team victory, although I'm not thinking it could be. This Morgana in the jungle. Doing
Very
some work.
good binding from Jinx's wedding. He's going in with the ultimate. It's going to be another root. Chonky flashes away and Parasite is right there to help his AD carry. Oh my god, this is so annoying.
It is so annoying. You can't do anything because Forsaken players are everywhere responding to whatever you do.
Yes, and Wolves can't even do much, to be honest. It's mostly not even Forsaken responding, it's Forsaken deciding what they want to do. And in the rare cases where Wolves do something, yeah, you just saw the result of that. Forsaken don't give any kills to Wolves whatsoever. And they plan to not give any objectives from now on either, because the Honor is already taking the Herald, goes down very quickly as it should.
Yep. It's Zyra in the end. I mean, getting rid of every neutral objective within a second. And Domas getting caught 3rd time in a row.
No, Domas, he's not getting out of it. Dealing some damage to Zioner, I gotta say. But Zioner has the ultimate, he has the kill confirmed, and now Jinxes is running away. I am lagging a little bit, so I have no clue what is going on. Okay, I am back, and I see that everybody is still alive, but Ents might not be alive for way too long, because Parasite, Chonky, and Zioner are stuck to him, onto him. They're dealing damage, they are securing the kill. Jinxes might be the next one on the man. He doesn't have the flash anymore, and yes, it's a kill for Ruffin. It is 21-6, Majutek. Could it be 22-6 because Onyx is here, but he's gonna be mega now soon. Do you want forget I said anything. They do want to make it 22-6. Make it 23, maybe? Thomas is back? No, they don't get him.
That was a bold TP, but I don't know what he was exactly looking for. I want to summarize it with one quick sentence. Not even Mega Gnar. Not even unbreakable wheel are enough of a defensive spells for them to stay alive. It's 13.
There is no defense for Wolves anymore, I'm afraid. 22-6. 3-6 is their Jace. And Jace, who is so behind, doesn't feel useful at all for the team. We will see who else is feeling bad, but I can tell you from memory, yeah, ENG is not feeling good as well. 0-7 is the Alistar. Cannot complete War Mode, cannot complete any item whatsoever compared to Parasite. 2-17! 17 assists in a single game. Oh my god, the support of our dreams right there, ladies and gentlemen.
He's been with, 19 kills out of 22. Just looking at the current map state, that kills are happening everywhere. Parasite is indeed in 90% of places over the map.
Yes, and a massive kill participation for him, and a massive turret participation, from now on, because they are taking this inner turret on the top lane. Baron buff, haven't heard of her. It's just 17th minute of the game. The Baron is not going to spawn for another 3 minutes from now, and Forsaken are already sieging the base of the Wolves. With Tongi on the mid lane, Onyx is a big nod. Domas is trying to flank, but there is nobody to flank. Forsaken have moved towards the top lane. Such good positioning from them. Wolves trying to find an opening, throwing in some shots with Domas, throwing in some bindings with Jinxes. Don't hit anybody, but Forsaken's health bars have been actually chipped a little bit.
Feels like Forsaken are rushing into what? The fastest game in Ultraliga ever? Feels like so, because they are putting so much pressure onto the enemy base. Switch from the top through the mid to the bot lane itself right now, looking for a potential dive, but not trying to force too much. Just slowly, not slowly.
I'm sure about that. Tongi is forcing a lot of things. Doesn't finish Jinxes though, and now he's fighting with everybody. A little bit too bold. 700 gold is given away as a shutdown to the Wolves, but at least they get a turret. Maybe they get somebody else, because Rafał is dealing damage. They're still running away, and Wolves cannot follow up, it seems.
He felt the power. He felt that he has 3 completed items, and he's a powerful Kaisa.
Wait, Ilma, they're still fighting. Oh my god, they are still fighting. They are catching poor Ends. Oh god, he's gonna be dead, but Ilma is dead at the same time as well. Ends extremely low here. Has to run away. It wasn't even, it was Onyx who died there. Oh my god, this fight was a very weird one.
Is it over, actually? Is it over?
No, it's not. It's not. They're still fighting. They are still fighting. Parasite is going in, supported with the damage from Rafał and from Ziona. That's a lot of damage, by the way, in case you haven't noticed. They take down Domas, maybe chasing somebody else. Not really. They chase the Drake.
Yeah, just getting the Drake for free. I don't believe that they care much about this objective, but since we are nearby, then maybe let's just get it. Because what else can we do? Apparently, Iron Wolves are still defending the base, so we need better equipment to force the front door.
Imagine taking the second Drake while the enemy is defending their base. The discrepancy between the teams is absolutely insane right now.
And this fight was too long, to be perfectly honest with you. I've been styling on the enemy's flashing to avoid the upcoming damage from Jade. It wasn't needed, it just looked cool, and they are feeling like doing cool stuff this game. The owner is just, okay, it's fine, we are winning, but how do we end the game the fastest way? Do we force the meets? Looks like so.
Quite possibly. They could force a good fight, but no vision for Wolves. They don't know where the danger is coming from, and he's coming right onto Ends. Poor Cat is gonna be dead for that time already. Parasite going right onto the turret with a beautiful Magnet Storm. 2 kills for Tongi Onyx. Oh, that's a really good pin against the wall, but doesn't really kill anybody instead of him. 3 kills for Tongi. Can we give him a little bit more? Give this guy a quadra. No, Robin says, nah, I need a little bit for myself as well. Don't be greedy, Tongi.
Nobody is greedy. They all want to just finish the game, and pentakill did not happen. Not so many kills might happen in this game, because feels like Forsaken are about to go back after this inhibitor.
Ilma does have to go out. They are gonna take this turret. Oh, Ents is engaging. He wanted to find an opening onto somebody who's in low health. There are quite many low health, but maybe not enough. They are still onto Robin, and Thomas is in a really good spot. Goes onto Robin, takes a shot down, but the order is around, and the flowers are gonna finish the enemy's mid laner. And now it is time for somebody else. It is Onyx, the little knot dancing around Parasite. Parasite is on the high horse. Can he get out? The owner is around, but all he can do is watch. Unfortunately, as his support is very slowly getting chipped down. Maybe they want to end, secure a kill. Yeah, no problem there. 2 items, I don't care. Ilma is around, Jinxos is around as well, and Roof too. Oh, Ziona, you overstayed your welcome. Goes golden just to prolong his life for a little while longer. But what is this life if he cannot do anything, Tongi? Maybe for the cleanup? Are you on the cleanup duties today, Tongi? Not really. Trying to find somebody, trying to snipe somebody with the W's. Can't find any opening. Jinxos and Roof looking at him with blood in their eyes, but this blood doesn't let them see clearly. There are 2 teleports coming in. Oh, you better run, Roof. You better run as fast as possible because Rapid is doing when you are dead just like that. Who is next on the menu? Is it Onyx? Double hope, 3 support, but you are not really getting out of it. It's 2 kills for Robin, and they continue the onslaught. Another one goes to bite the dust, and now it's going to be the base of the wolves that is going to follow. Forsaken, take 1 turret of the Nexus, gonna take another one. Doesn't matter what was happening just a little while earlier. 34-11 this game goes so far, and maybe a little bit more because, oh my god, Jinxos, this ultimate is never going to find its end. Ilma is dead, but Korotkiy is still alive, Robin is still alive, and they are taking this game 36-12.
In 22 minutes. Oh my god, Solari, you really felt this game. You've been talking for like 2 minutes straight because they didn't stop fighting for even a second.
It's up to, I'm sorry, but it's totally their fault. They wouldn't simply stop fighting at any given second. They really wanted to win this game as soon as possible. And I don't think it's the quickest game in Ultraliga because, well, we would need to ask Eska for that most likely. But it was definitely a very quick one.
It's not, I do believe that we had at least 1 game pre-20 minutes in the whole Ultraliga, you know, counting pretty much every season. But I was looking at the statistic in like minute 16 or 17 while they, Forsaken, were already ready to be knocking onto your inhibitors. In the end, it lasted a couple of minutes more, but the result is still the same. Forsaken winning the last match of the regular split for them and sending the message to Iron Wolves. Yeah, you had a nice run, you had a nice year, but maybe it's time to reconsider if you are still ready and in good form to be playing in the first division.
It's a good time for reconsideration for sure. A lot of things to be thinking about. And even though they had some good moments in this game, Onyx, for example, claiming some solo brawls on the top lane against the new top laner from Forsaken, and some pretty okay skirmishes overall, this game was a snowball towards the Wolves, and there was nothing they could do about it.
Yeah, I don't believe we have much more to say about summary of this match or for both teams. Maybe let's talk a little bit with our interview guest, and it's going to be Ilma. Hello.
인사하면 돼. 아니 hello 해야지.
Hello. Is it going to be interview with a translator?
Yes, I'm not very good at translator, but yeah.
Okay, thank you very much. So I would love to ask Ilma, how do you like it in Ultraliga thus far? Only 2 matches right now, but you need to accommodate quickly. The playoffs are coming. Are you ready?
이제 2경기밖에 안 했는데 이제 와서 플레이오프 바로 시작하는데 준비됐냐라고 물어봤어요. He said he's already ready.
All right.
That's a good spirit. But Ilma, do you like Forsaken? Are the guys treating you well?
Forsaken이 좋냐? Forsaken이랑 잘 맞냐? 이렇게.
I think I lost the sound. Don't know who's on my side.
Yeah, feels like.
No, he said he's very good, playing good with team, and he likes our team, like Jeoner, Ruffin, me, and Parasite. So yeah, he's good at
that's
it.
good.
That's good. But he's might be liking you, but does he like Poland enough to be ready to appear on the LAN finals? What are your thoughts about the LAN being held in Poland? Are you ready to be playing in this very final?
폴란드 이제 결승전이랑 이런 거 하는데 뭐 갈 준비 돼 있냐 뭐 이런 거 같은데 나도 잘 이해 못했어. 어. He said our team is so good, so when I do just my best, we will gonna go final, so and we will gonna win the final.
But if you are getting to the finals, are you planning to come to Poland to play here?
Yes, probably yes.
That's good to
Alright.
know.
Great to hear.
Yeah. All right. Thank you. Thank you so much, Ilma, for coming to this interview with us. It's very nice to see you here. Do you have any shout out you want to give to anyone?
아무나 샷아웃 하고 싶냐고. 뭐라고? He want to say for G10 top laner Melonic.
Uh-huh.
He said, I know he's very good player, and I heard very good of him. So I want to see him, and I'm very excited to play with him.
Oh, that's nice. I can't wait for that. Thank you so much, Emma. Thank you so much for translation as well. We wish you all the best in the upcoming playoffs.
Yeah, thank you.
Thank you. Bye. It was nice having a translator this time, so we could actually ask some questions and get some answers from the newest member of Forsaken, the Korean top laner. Feeling ready, feeling already good in Poland. He's going to attend to the finals and he's going to win. We all heard it.
That's a promise. And I like it. And I personally cannot wait for the matchup between him and Melonic on the top lane, because these are two really good top laners. And now it's going to feel a little bit more personal after this interview.
Firstly, he needs to go against the Majutek in the first match of the playoffs. And then, I mean, back to the game will do a favor for them and win against Zero Tenacity. So the Zero Tenacity will play against Forsaken. That's all pretty much settled. But don't count it as a spoiler.
Straight leaked.
Yeah, don't count it as granted. I might be mistaken here and there, but I won't be mistaken if I will say Forsaken won this match, and we have one more best of one more match of the regular season, the last match of today. So we are going to quickly jump into the break, refill our bottles with some water, maybe grab some snack, and we will be ready. So I assume you will be too.
Sí, ¿vos de qué parte sos?
Yo de aquí.
Ah, mira.
¿Tú de qué parte eres?
Del norte.
Oh man, I feel like that was my best intro ever.
Yeah, not bad, hey, not bad. Same. I can go pro. You know it as well. I also know you can dance. You should join me next time. And yes, I feel like you've also deserved a bit of a break. You've earned it.
Thanks.
Even the biggest champ needs a break.
Good job.
Hey, thank you.
Wjedź do elektryzującego świata e-sportu i zagraj z nami. Moc energii zapewnia elektryczna Kia EV6.
Hello, it's us again. We are back from the break and we are ready for the last best of one match of this very season. After that, we are going to go for 4 best of 5s, and the last one is going to be played on a LAN event. We want to advertise it a little bit. Actually, I want to advertise it a little bit because I have like 95% of confirmation that I will be here. So if anybody wants to see me in person and other players, I recommend visiting it for the players, for the show, for the matches itself. But a lot of esports personas are still going to be in Gdańsk on the 3rd of August, if I recall correctly. So yeah, let's go there.
Yeah, especially since Gdańsk is such a nice place and having a good reason to go there. Hey, it's written in the stars. You cannot miss this one. I'm looking forward to it. I can imagine what teams we might see there playing live on the stage, but I'm not going to jinx anything because a lot of things could go different ways. Yeah, that was one of my assumptions, to be fair. I would love to see Zero Tenacity versus Back to the Game finals in this split. But before that happens, we have the chance to see a little bit more of Zero Tenacity alone, because they are going to be playing the last game of the day and of this regular split versus Matty USA LODIS, for whom coincidentally this is going to be their last game in the season at all.
It is, that's the true. For Zero Tenacity, it's just formality to win this match. Even if they lose, they are still secured on the first place, so nothing really happens. But I'm not expecting a team of this caliber to be having too much fun whatsoever. They are probably having fun playing professional and prepared League of Legends against team as Matty USA LODIS. It shouldn't be a tough one, but Matty USA LODIS showed us during the season that they could put a nice fight against strong teams. For example, Back to the Game. Oh, hello.
Sorry, she wanted some attention.
I lost my talking point.
I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I don't think she is sorry, but yeah, she just wanted some attention. She always comes to me when it's the last game, and she knows that today, right now, right here, we have the last game, not just of the day, but of the regular split. This is going to be most likely a similar game to something that we just witnessed, with Iron Bull suffering a very definitive defeat from Forsaken, but at the same time, still hoping that Matty USA LODIS still have that fire in them and are going to show us a really good fight against Zero Tenacity.
I mean, yeah, in your debut split, there's not much to do right now than to leave a mark in our brains, in our memories, that Matty USA LODIS, in the end, they were a decent team. They could put up a fight. They had some crazy picks like Yono on the top lane or Garilio in the mid lane for Domoles. So let's end this regular split. Let's end the season for Matty USA LODIS on a high note.
I want exactly that and nothing less. I want a high note for Matty USA LODIS because they have really interesting players that can pull out some really fun League of Legends. And Zero Tenacity, while being a pretty serious team, I think they don't shy away from the fun either. Oh, that's it? You're leaving me now? Okay, fine. That wasn't long.
I am just checking just to be 100% sure of the standings in the championship points. Right now we have the confirmation that Iron Wolves are getting 0 from the last place, so they end up with 18 points, and Matty USA LODIS currently counting for the 7th place have 16 points, so they are 2 off. I'm wondering what is the case if they in the end manage to lose this match. Will tie the score with Orbit Anonymo, have this head-to-head of 1-1. I need to check a thing or two. So maybe Solari, please take on the draft, and I will be back shortly with my
view. Gladly so. Take your time, because we are still in the bans only. We have Rumble plus Azure banned out by Matty USA LODIS, who are on the blue side. Zero Tenacity, see Domoles, no, the Galio needs to be the first ban. Then they remove Ivern from Cat Team. He did play this champion yesterday, so no big surprise here as well. And then LODIS wrap it all up with a Tristana ban on their side.
I'm just asking for a confirmation because actually with a tight score, it might be that Orbit Anonymo with the highest number of wins in the second split of the season will actually take the 6th spot, which means that Matty USA LODIS might need to once again be fighting to keep the spot in the first division. I'm just waiting for the confirmation.
Yeah.
So for now, let's focus on the draft, starting with LeBlanc for the Moles. Like it very much. An open approach to this draft, throwing a glove. Hey, let's challenge.
Let's challenge, and I wonder if Zero Tenacity are ready to take the challenge. They have Ash available, and yet they are going to lock her in for Harpoon, his go-to pick in the second half of the regular split, pretty much whenever she is available. Zero Tenacity take 8 for Harpoon and roll with 8. I wonder what else they're going to show us. Maybe the mid lane may be finding some answer for LeBlanc. The problem is, whenever you're playing against LeBlanc, you don't want to answer her individually. You want to wait until the jungler pick from the enemy, or on the contrary, take the good jungler for yourselves.
Yeah, and that's a nice approach. With still champions like Lucian or Korotkiy available, you could go for this option on the third pick on the red side. Matty USA LODIS trying to create a setup for this 2v2, currently hovering Vi. I like this idea very much. No, it's not going to be Aethel, probably not. It's a common hover for the Moles, and going with support maybe, or just answer for the bot lane as an AD carry. A lot of options still open. The Moles just hovering pretty much every champion that he pleases, but with 5 seconds left, yeah, he needed to make a decision, and it is Leona in the end.
They take good support for themselves. They take away the kill pressure from the bot lane, making sure that there is no Leona paired up with Ashe. And Zero Tenacity, knowing now that there is going to be Violet Blanc, a very strong duo, by the way, after level 6, very deadly, they opt in to take Korotkiy for Kofti for the mid lane.
Yeah, as expected, Korotkiy will get some beating from LeBlanc. She will just use Distortion forward, throw some spells, then go back, and Korotkiy won't have enough time to answer with a similar amount of damage. But still a matchup that you are just buying Null Magic Mantle and trying to survive towards the later stages of the game. Now, the later stage of the draft, the second phase of banning, getting rid of Israel and maybe something long range so that Ashe could punish you on the bot lane. Probably that's the approach that Zero Tenacity is going to present us.
Would not be surprised if that's exactly what happens, making sure that the bot lane is as safe for Harpoon as possible. At the same time, maybe trying to take away something from PMK. We see Matty USA LODIS finding quite a lot of success in the Summoner's Rift when PMK is allowed a good champion and allowed to roll through his lane and through the Summoner's Rift. So maybe that is going to be the focus for the second ban for Zero Tenacity, but we'll see what they're going to decide for. Ultimately, there is a Xante ban from the side of Matty USA LODIS, so they are the ones focusing on the top lane in the meantime. And no, Zero Tenacity roll with your idea, Caitlyn, the long range early game AD carry is gonna be removed by them.
And Zeller played some Caitlyn, not sure about this split, but for sure in the second division it was like the second highest peaked AD carry for him. So makes a lot of sense right now. Zero Tenacity should go with a support. Okay, yes please. Nautilus, why not? Feels really good into the enemy team. They are going on to your Ashe with Season Disease. You're answering with your Death Charge, pretty much the same results.
Yes. And it's going to provide a lot of protection for the Ashe. It's going to provide a really good engage at the same time. But I would love to see something that is going to be able to engage together with Nautilus to go on the top lane. Not sure what the plan for Melonic is. I would love actually for it to be on for Melonic. It would fit so well into the composition of Zero Tenacity. But Matty USA LODIS most likely will lock it for PMK themselves.
That opens a window for either Gwen, Camille, Fiora, this type of champion, so that Meloni could play isolated 1v1 on the top lane, play through the side lane, champion strong enough to not only beat Ornn, but actually be able to win against LeBlanc on the side lane, and the rest of the team will just do their job. And yeah, Camille it is.
Good pick for Zero Tenacity, good pick for Melonic, good pick into Ornn, just good overall, I gotta say, nice draft for Zero Tenacity, with still some things that worry me a little bit from Matty USA LODIS. For example, the fact that they are rolling with the Violet Blanc combo into Ash, who is not gonna be able to get away from the danger if it's jumping right onto her. She's playing with the cleanse because of that very reason, but you cannot cleanse everything that these two are gonna be throwing at you.
Yeah, that's the composition from Lodis, designed basically to delete Ash and Korotkiy with the enormous amount of this way, because you have Chains on the mid lane, you have Season Disease, you have Ornn with all his setup, you have the Leona, everything that is just designed to get rid of the enemy carries, let's put it this way.
Yeah, to seize them and disease them, pretty much, as the ultimate from Vice says. Plus, there is such a good team fighting comp from Matty USA LODIS. It's at the same time really good pickup combination, because with LeBlanc, with Leona, you can sit in the jungle non-stop and fish for those opportunities from the Fog of War. But at the same time, if it comes to bigger team fights, they have a longer range engage with Ornn. They have really good poke with their Jinx, who should be able to stay relatively safe. And they can just go all in with Ornn and Leona and Vi on top of that. This is actually a pretty scary draft that Matty USA LODIS decided to go for. The only thing is that if they go in all together, and that is perfect for Brand.
That's a nice comp they have. Is it good enough for this fight? Because I just got confirmation. Because Matty USA LODIS lost yesterday to Anonymo Esports. They are currently 1-1 in terms of head-to-head. If they lose to Zero Tenacity today, they will be equal in score, but just looking at the numbers of wins in the second half of the split, that Anonymo obviously got more. If Matty USA LODIS lose this match, they are going to be sent towards the promotion tournament and fighting against teams from the second division. They said goodbye to them. They won the second division. They won the finals against Mididron 3-1. They said goodbye. Hey, we are advancing to the first division. And that would be terrific for them to be on the edge of losing this spot and be sent back to the second division.
After just one split in Ultraliga. Yes, that would be pretty painful, I can say. But there is always an opportunity, first of all, to win this match today, maybe against Zero Tenacity with their team composition. There is a possibility for them to do so. And second of all, relegations is not the end of it. You can still win them and stay in the first division, or you can go all the way through the second division again, which is not too big of a deal, I can say, because I keep hearing from you how good the second division in Ultraliga is.
Yeah, but you know, the case is, if they were to be sent down, to the second division, they would need to spend a whole year in the second division, acquire enough points to get into the promotion tournament, and then once again, maybe, depending on the other teams, give it a try, have a shot at advancing once again. As I was talking with the coach, Inka, the coach of Matty USA LODIS, in the spring split in second division, he told me that that's the organization with a plan. And we have a 1-year plan to prepare everybody for the first division, to fight in the second division, to win everything in the second division. And then if we are good enough to get into the first one. They got promoted earlier than they thought. So let's call it a lucky situation for them. Obviously, they were happy. But the question is, were they ready for it?
It's a good question. And if they are getting into the relegations right now, the answer might be, for some, a very clear no, they were not. But I would say they did have a really good run in the end. This split, first division is a very packed one. If you look at the top of the scoreboard, there is literally no space for anybody to get into the playoffs. Like there is no space for Demolis to not take all this damage from Kofter right now. But the fact is, Matty USA LODIS came into Division 1 in probably the worst time, when everybody on the first half of the scoreboard, on the top part of the scoreboard, is so strong that you need to fight tooth and claw just to stay afloat, and it's not really working out for you every time.
And you know, in the end, if you're not able to beat teams as Forsaken, as GRP, as Zero Tenacity, well, they were stronger. It's nothing to be worried about. But if you're losing to a team as Orbit Anonymo, that might be the case of you potentially losing the slot. I mean, potentially because as we are discussing, they still have a nice shot in fighting against teams of the second division. Hey, they won the second division in the spring, so now they just need to repeat it.
Yeah, easy. Rinse and repeat. And to come back to the first division a little bit more prepared than you were this time. Ooh, that's a nice exchange on the top lane, by the way. PMK and Melonic are having a lot of fun. Oh, but Melonic using this little mounted this little rope from PMK to launch onto him. That was a nice move. For the top lane, yeah, it's going to be a little bit of a fist fight from now on.
It is, and I'm expecting Matty USA LODIS to throw pretty much everything at this match. You know, full concentration, the best performance of the season. They need pretty much everything, and a little bit of luck to beat Zero Tenacity, because it is, in the end, the best team in Ultraliga.
The reigning champions, yes. They're the ones who want to defeat their title in this split. Yes. The #1 team who nobody was really able to contest the place from. Yes, absolutely so. 12 win streak, by the way. Full Zero Tenacity will be if they win this game today. 11-2 so far. Oh, Xavi, that is a good engage. You find onto Korotkiy with 3 men from Matty USA LODIS. It is a guaranteed first blood for Demolis.
And they need plays like that to be able to succeed in this really tough mission of beating Zero Tenacity, investing 2 flashes, 3 players to go to the mid lane, but to secure the first blood, a very needed first blood for LeBlanc to take over from this position.
Great news. It is a 1-0 in the end. However, I gotta say, there is a parting with Matty USA LODIS when they take the first blood, only to throw or just lose plainly the games right after that. It happens rather often. It even did happen yesterday in their game versus Orbit Anonymo, if I recall correctly. So this is a good beginning, but not something to be too hyped about just yet. We will see how the rest of the game goes. Maybe now there's going to be something, because I'm seeing Kerim around the ball lane, but I'm also seeing this ward from Zero Tenacity. They will not let a gank happen.
Yeah, but Ketim needs to be like perma-ganking everywhere. He needs to be everywhere. He needs to support every other player of his team. They just need to snowball Zero Tenacity. Otherwise, in team fights, you are facing Brand, 280 carries, Nautilus with a point-click great CC, and if still you think that it's enough, we are strong enough to beat them in team fights, you have Melonic on the side lane. And basically no answer to it.
That's true. That's very true. I think for Matty USA LODIS, it's going to be super important that they make sure that by the time there are team fights, they come to them still being ahead, because playing from behind against Zero Tenacity team comp is gonna prove almost impossible for them. Ooh, that's a lot of damage, by the way, from Demolis onto Korotkiy, forcing a recall with no TP from Korotkiy. Oh, not really, no, he just hits the cookie and he's fine, but the bot lane in the meantime is fighting. Xavi's taking the beating from Harpoon with a nice hook from Majutek, yet another one, but no kills so far.
For me, personally, feels like a skill gap on the bot lane. How many duos can really play 2v2 against Harpoon and Erdote? Not so many, and feels like Zeller and Xavi might not be the duo to give them home.
Unfortunately, yeah, but it's not saying anything bad really about Zeller and Xavi. It's simply that Zero Tenacity's bot lane is a very extremely dominant one, especially with Harpoon playing one of his recent comfort champions, being Ashe, getting very close to his level 6. Yeah, I would say for Matty USA LODIS, this bot lane is not something I should be trying to play around. Maybe through the top lane, because PMK is doing rather fine against Melonic.
And you have a nice setup while coming into the top lane, you know, 2, 3 knockups, the 4th and 5th coming from Vi, so Melonic would be in the air for like 5 seconds or so. That's a nice setup. They don't need a lot of damage to get rid of Camille. In the end, it's just the Duran's shield and the Ruby Crystal, so She's not too tanky, just the base damage of those two champions should be enough. But no, the focus is towards the mid lane. They are trying to go for Korotkiy one more time.
But the problem is, Ketim just got level 6. Forget I said anything about the problem. This is the perfect timing for Matty USA LODIS. Problem, though, is anyway back. Korotkiy has the 6th feeling on the back of his head. A tiny voice is telling him, don't go there, don't go next to those bushes. Death might be awaiting you there. So he goes in a completely different direction and thus avoids death without maybe even knowing about it.
And that's the time. If you're hearing the voices in your head, you should be happy about it. That's a good sign, actually. It helped you avoid death in the video game.
I feel better.
Do you hear those voices? Like, don't go top.
Yes, that's why I don't play League of Legends. I assume that if my voices are telling me do not go top, I better stay as safe as possible. No chance for me to go top.
Either way, if Korotkiy is hearing those voices or not, he has the 6th sense, as he mentioned before, and he knows more even than us, the observers, as we are seeing pretty much the entire map.
Yes, and sometimes it's still not enough. It's by the way one of those reasons I cannot go back to play normal League of Legends, because what do you mean fog of war? What do you mean I see everything up close? I need to see it from afar, from the observer's point of view, otherwise this is simply unplayable. However, Matty USA LODIS, I gotta say, would love to be in that position right now that we are in. They would love to see what is happening on the map, because I believe they don't see where Blurzer is. They understand where he is, but don't really see him, which means there might be some movements around the both side of the map very soon, especially with Ketim already being around.
Not sure if this Ashes E scouted Ketim, but Blurzer either way is on the position, just trying to cover, destroying this ward, and then just disengaging, because he showed himself, he applied pressure, allowed Harpoon to crash this wave, and right now is going to create even more control just by taking the Scuttlecraft.
And that's a very good control considering the timing, less than a minute before the Drake is going to spawn, and Zero Tenacity would love to continue keeping the pressure on the bot lane as much as possible to then be able to rotate it towards the Drake, because with Ash Crystal Arrow available, with Dota's ultimate available, they could decide whether they want to go for a kill confirmed into somebody on the bot lane with, for example, Blurzer around and direct it towards the Drake right afterwards. Or if they want to start the Drake and have a really good setup in case Matty USA LODIS want to stop them at the pit.
I would love to address one more thing, but maybe a little bit later. Okay, Domoles disengages from that. Blurzer is totally out-jungling Ketim. I said that Ketim needs to be perma-ganking. He did one gank in the mid lane. It ended up in a first blood. Very good job. But other than that, he's just, running around, trying to cover, trying to create opportunities, while Blurzer is just power farming along the way.
That is very true, and that is very worrisome, because that is not how it's supposed to look like for Matty USA LODIS. Ketim needs to be helping out more, he needs to be getting those assists, and he needs to utilize his speed of buy, and he's trying to do so right now, going on to Korotkiy with the Mollis around. That is a lot of burst damage, but guess from which side? It's not from the one you would have expected. It is from Zero Tenacity. They get down 1, they get down 2 for Blurzer, but they'll wait for it, because Owen is around with the Owen Horn. They are trying to find an answer onto a Dota, and a Dota is gonna be the sacrificial lamb in this exchange.
But that's still so good for Zero Tenacity. Just look at Harpoon totally chilling on the bot lane, getting plate number 2, maybe even plate number 1, plate number 2, even on the top lane, the same thing. But we are getting the replay of this situation. Nice try going on to Korotkiy, but not enough damage. And if you are not able to burst down Korotkiy and Brand appears, yeah, you do have problems.
Yeah. It's game over for you immediately. The whole idea of LeBlanc is that you come in, you burst somebody, you get out of the danger as soon as possible. That is why you have Vi by your side, to make sure she can secure this all-in potential for you. If you don't execute it, you are dead That is exactly what happened in the previous fight. Really good answer from Zero Tenacity. They have this really sustainable ticking damage on the side of Blurzer with the massive already completed, and that is a pretty good win con if you ask me. So
Yeah, I wanted to showcase the completed items for Zero Tenacity players. Triforce for the top lane, which means Melonic
Nice.
is way past the tough times of fighting toe to toe with EMK right now. He's taking the lead, and Leandris for Blurzer. Actually, can you imagine better item for Brand? I don't think so.
No, there is no better item. That plus Realize is
Yep.
a perfect combination for this guy. Same as for Zyra, to be honest. Just such good items in general. Unlike the Salt that we have right now, not the best, but we were kind of spoiled with the good souls already throughout the day today, so it's fine. We take the Cloud Soul. Do we take Zero Tenacity going down from Matty USA LODIS? Because Shiny says, yeah, I'm kind of hungry. Let's go ahead and engage on the Blurzer. And Demolis wants to do the same, but Demolis is under the ultimate from Majutek. And a Crystal Arrow. Harpoon is a sniper from the downtown. That is going to be Blurzer down, but there are so many more deaths can come from Matty USA LODIS. If Shiny doesn't get out, and it doesn't look like he is, it's a double kill for Korotkiy.
And once again, nice try from, oh my god, two ultimates at the same time. And the first and second landing pretty much in the same location. That was nice to see. Thank you very much, observers. But Matty USA LODIS, once again, nice try, nice opportunity to look for an elimination, but you need to pay attention that the enemy team can counterattack. And you went really hard in onto the Brand, but not hard and not quick enough so that he couldn't put his spells into the action. He was able to land Q or W, doesn't really matter, but the most important thing is that his ultimate went off while you were grouped, meaning you are doomed.
Yeah, exactly. There is no better way to put it, honestly. You are doomed. Are Matty USA LODIS doomed right now? It's going to be a very big question, because there is a little bit more than 2k lead for Zero Tenacity team-wise. Plus, with the Herald spawning already, we know that Zero Tenacity prefer this objective to pretty much almost any other. Plus, with the Prior on the top lane, they just go in and take it. With Blurzer being front, there is no problem of doing so rather quickly. The problem is, though, might arise for Korotkiy. It's a 4-man tower dive, my friend, with the Vi at the menu. This is going to be an easy pickup for Matty USA LODIS.
That was unsurvivable. I don't know how to pronounce it in English, but I hope you get the image that Korotkiy had basically approximately 0 chances of surviving this one.
Kasper doesn't have any chances of surviving. Our ult, ooh, that's a really good flash away from the ultimate from Xavi, and Melonic is there just to make sure he secures Dodo's escape from the inevitable. 4 members of Matty USA LODIS still around, but they don't want to overstep it.
But they still want to don't want to defend the tower. They are just looking at the enemy team. Are you going to be extending any further? No? Okay, thank you very much for this wave. Then, and for the tier 1 tower, not yet.
No, close call, but no. Herald is still a little bit busy with it, actually. Maybe one more hit? No, we'd need one more, but unfortunately, it is dead. And somebody from Matty USA LODIS might follow the example of Shelly soon, but they realize that Melonic flying at you full speed from the wall is not exactly the sight that you want to see if you want to leave, especially when he's carrying not 1, not 2, but 3 great souls in the pockets. But they go into Blurzer. Finally, here is the burst damage we were expecting from the Mollis, and he removes Blurzer from this equation, dying right afterwards, not getting out of this. Unfortunately, they got a really nice ultimate onto Zeller. It's not gonna help you survive though. Xavi is going to be the only one who's gonna die in the end of this exchange, following up with the Mollis.
Yeah, but 2-for-2 exchange while your solo laners are taking over the side lanes. It's not a good sign for Matty USA LODIS. Once again, you are trying really hard. I respect that, but you need to pay attention to more than one area on the Summoner's Rift. Just look what Melonic is serving to UMK, or actually, UMK trying to answer with a nice chunk of damage.
That is on. One does not simply go on to on and take him down, especially not under the turret, even if you are Camille. That is the Sunfire already completed for PMK. He has a lot of return damage onto Melonic, really good AP damage. Plus, if you land your abilities correctly, your combo correctly, with throwing in a little rock at the enemy, then bashing yourself into it, making sure you sandwich the enemy between the rock and yourself, well, another rock, then you deal a ton of damage. And Melonic could feel it by himself. Maybe someone else is going to feel some more damage right now because Xavi is going in relentlessly with the ultimate. Really good combo from him, and that is yet again Blues are dead. Thank you very much, Karim. He's taking the kill. I thought it might very easily be the next one on the menu, but on the other side of the map, Zeller, he needs to flash away because Hotpoint is here, and Hotpoint is doing the pew. This guy has a damage, that's the Tenacity. Takes down Zeller, goes down himself inevitably, but it doesn't matter because the rest of the team is there for the cleanup. Kopte secures the double kill. Can they go into demolish? Oh no, the Blanc is sneaky, don't catch her like that.
Yeah, Harpoon has the audacity, has the confidence to just go into the chompers, to just use the cleanse, go full on 1v3. I don't care. I'm going to test your skills and getting a kill in return. This time they went on to Brand that had like 5 seconds to his ultimate, so wasn't able to get an elimination in return. Just look at Harpoon. I want to highlight this. He's going on to Zeller, not caring. Domoles, Zeller, I don't care. Am I going to fight against both of you, or actually the trio of you, because Xavi appeared on his screen, but only to sacrifice himself for a safe return of Domoles to the base.
And that is very admirable, and that is always what you expect from a very good support on your team. Is it gonna be enough though for Matty USA LODIS? Right now we are at a 9-9 situation with around 3-ish K gold for Zero Tenacity, but what is much more worrisome is the fact that there is a 3 dragons lead for Z10 compared to Matty USA LODIS. They've taken all the dragons that have appeared on the map so far. They've taken the Herald as well, only leaving the 4 grabbies to Matty USA LODIS. And right now the situation is not too good for LODIS, but at least they have the objective bounties, and they gotta have somebody dead apparently. Really good Enchanted Crystal Arrow from Harpoon, most likely securing the death of Ketim.
What a sniper. I mean, Harpoon just does not miss when it comes to the ultimates of an Asher. Nice assist there, nice elimination for Z10, but does Kofte know? Once again, 6th sense of this mid laner allowed him to spot LeBlanc hiding in the bush. Does he know about the Leona though?
He's too busy with Demolish, to be fair. It's a really good target. Oh, Demolish! No mind games! Oh, maybe a little bit of mind games, but yeah, there is nowhere to run.
They know,
no.
but they have no time to stop it.
Yeah, no time to spare onto one little Leona. Who cares about her anyway when you can get the entirety of the enemy jungle and threaten their inner turret on the top lane?
Not only that, once again Melonic on the side lane trying to work on yet another wave, and the tower, TMK using ultimate defensively.
Oh wait, but it's really good, but it's offensive all of a sudden. Harpoon was caught by the Call of the Forge Gods, and then he was caught, now he is dead. Hofte is probably going to be the next one. Yes, it's the kill for Jinx, and Zeller is excited, Jinx is excited, trying to catch Blurzer, cannot slow him down, so he should be able to get away from them.
But I don't think that they can do a Nash here. I mean, Melonic has no TP, so it's up to Blurzor and Erdote to stop it.
Can they? Blurzer has the flash, he has the smite available, he has a lot of damage that he's throwing on the Matty USA LODIS, and they are keeping this ward in the pit. They can try to go for it. Demolish might be a problem, but Erdote is really nice at the protection of his jungler. He is dead, but Melodic has arrived already. He's going on to Demolish, throwing him into the ultimate, and Demolish is dead. And with that, Matty USA LODIS abandoned the Baron because they need to run for their lives. What is that Crystal Arrow? What was that? How is it possible to hit it?
I do believe that we need to check Harpoon's PC, because it seems kind of sus that he's landing pretty much every ultimate in this game.
Not just in this game. Whenever he's playing Ashe, he's landing all the ultimates in general. But this was such a good onslaught from Zero Tenacity. Talk me through it.
First of all, it took too long to be able to secure the Nash, and after that, you allowed Melonic to come in, you allowed Harpoon to respawn and throw this beautiful arrow that we just seen from the perspective of the observers, once again, thank you very much for keeping an eye onto this ultimate, because they are just beautiful. And in the end,
Yes.
you took too long, you slacked with the Nasher. I didn't think it was the best idea in the first place. Maybe they were trying to bait Blurzor in, the Moles waiting in the bush, something like that, but it just didn't work out. They needed to give up on this, and right now pretty much struggling into defending their own territory, as Zero Tenacity are 1 minute and 20 seconds from the potential fourth Drake for themselves.
That's why they're already at this part of the map. That's why they're preparing it. But Matty USA LODIS want to prepare Zero Tenacity for break, as they're going to miss with their own horn. And now it is a trigger for Zero Tenacity to go back. Beautiful knock-up happening right there. 2 kills already for Pluta. And they continue. Zeller to the backlane, but their backlane does not exist anymore. They are being slaughtered. PMK, the last one standing, gonna stand for a little while longer. Even gonna flash away, but Kote has the Valkyrie and has the heart made of gold and damage. And he is getting another kill as an ace for Zero Tenacity.
Clean ace, clean team fight, and overall clean execution of Zero Tenacity's composition. Once again, they are proving to us casters, they are proving to you viewers, and they are proving to pretty much everybody in the first division of Samsung Galaxy Ultraliga that they are not only the reigning champions, but the actual contenders to back-to-back win the title.
Yes, especially now that they're getting more and more kills in their pockets. Blurzor is dead, but does it matter if there is more kills for Zero Tenacity? And they still are continuing the onslaught towards the enemy's base. Gonna back up, but just for a little while, just to catch up with the waves, just to remove this turret on the mid lane, and then to continue, because for Matty USA LODIS being 13 to 21, it doesn't look like there is any way out of it.
No, doesn't look like the advantage in terms of drakes and gold and items, and pretty much everything is just too high to deal with for Matty USA LODIS. I mean, Ornn is not tanky enough to soak in all the damage. Blanc without a Rabadon is not strong enough to be deleting champion after champion after champion. And maybe Zeller, you might think, maybe Jinx with upgraded Infinity Edge, with almost completed LDR. Just maybe, but no, there is too much threat coming from the Zero Tenacity draft to delete the Jinx immediately.
Oh, speaking of deleting somebody immediately, they go into Demolis with a beautiful enchanted crystal arrow. His passive is out, and Demolis is out of the fight. We'll need to recall, we need to get back to the base, which gives even more time for Zero Tenacity to continue the onslaught. Do they have the Baron buff anymore? No. Do they need it? Frankly, no.
No, it's just slowly but surely going to be an end. Maybe not so slowly, as they are approaching with synchronized wave to the top lane and the mid lane. Is it the last dive? Is it the last fight?
Quite possibly, because PMK is going in with the own horn, a very nice engage, but not from the side of Matty USA LODIS. Zero Tenacity dealing so much damage. Harpoon is firing non-stop. Nobody has been able to get to him, while Zero Tenacity clear the table. It is another ace for Zero Tenacity. 13 to 26, yet another onslaught. 25-minute game from the team that is very ready to go and defend their title in a couple of weeks.
And pretty much predicted by everybody that Zero Tenacity will not make it easy for Matty USA LODIS to save the spot in the first division. No, they are not playing games. They are playing the League of Legends. Pretty much the best League of Legends we saw.
Yes, the cleanest, the most decisive. Look at the gold graph. 14k gold difference in the end of the game. And the graph is pretty much always going in the direction of Zero Tenacity, slowly but surely. And on top of that, look at damage from Korotkiy. Look at it. Almost 26k.
Yeah, 5 times more than Ketim did in the entire game. That wasn't the match for this jungler. That wasn't the match for any of the players from Matty USA LODIS team. Maybe Jinx was doing okay, but okay is not enough to beat Zero Tenacity.
Yes, even if you get excited once or two times, that is not enough. But if you get excited in general about your playstyle, about your team, that is a good sign for victory. And I feel like Blurzer can tell us a little bit about that because we have the pleasure of having him on the interview. Congratulations with yet another victory for Zero Tenacity. I feel like there is
Hello.
no surprise here. But tell me, please, are you happy with where you're ending the regular split?
Yeah, I mean, for sure, it feels good to finish the season, like being first place of regular split. So it feels nice, yeah. Looking forward for the playoffs now.
Feels like you are more than ready for the playoffs. 20, no, it's 12 games win streak right now. You won the EPL, beating back to the game twice. You are currently, evolving into the, I don't know what form of Zero Tenacity, but a terrifying form for many, many opponents. Do you feel like playoffs will be any challenge for you at all, or is it just a preparation for EMEA Masters?
I mean, I feel really confident with our team, so it's hard to say if it will be any challenge because I think every team can like be a challenge, in a way. So I think if we just focus on on our opponent, like step by step, I think like that should be not really a challenge for us if we play our game. And yeah, I'm just like really confident with our gameplay. And normally, I don't think anyone should be able to beat us right now in our form. So we just have to keep it up.
Can you please tell me, Blurzer, if you look back at Zero Tenacity current roster in the beginning of this year and you look at yourselves now, how much have you grown?
I mean, I think everyone grew a lot actually, like not only in the game but as persons, because I would say that we have more like better connections between each other as players, and we talk more openly about stuff if we have problems. And I feel like it's just like easier to fix our issues right now if we find something, and we can work better on it. So I think it's all about communication in the end and our attitude. So for sure we grew a lot together.
That's great to hear that you are all feeling so confident and ready and prepared to once again win the whole thing. One question coming from me. We had an opportunity to interview Iliama, the newest top laner of Forsaken, and he told us that they are not scared. They are also feeling confident and they want to face you, then beat you and take your trophy away.
I mean,
Do you have any message to this guy?
I mean, they don't need to be scared, but in the end, like only one team can win, so we're gonna find out who it is.
Okay, one small prediction from you. Who do you think you're gonna be playing with in the finals?
I think either Back to the Game or Forsaken, but I think it's
between these two.
I think I would say Back to the Game. I feel like they are playing better as a team. Like actually, I remember last interview I said Forsaken, but I kind of changed my mind. Like I feel like Back to the Game actually playing better as a team, and meanwhile Forsaken they are just I feel like snowballing through the lanes, and I don't know. I just think Back to the Game can just beat them in best of 5. So I mean it's gonna be hype for sure, but we need to find out.
And so we are really, really looking forward to the very first match for you in the playoffs against Back to the Game, and maybe a potential rematch in the finals itself. So we won't be keeping you too long for this interview. Take well-needed rest before the best of 5. But before you go, please share your shoutouts with us.
I mean, just thank you everyone for supporting us as per usual. We're gonna keep pushing forward and improving for the playoffs. And yeah, just thank you for everything and keep cheering for us.
Right. Thank you very much, Blurzer, for this game and for this interview. And hopefully see you maybe again on yet another interview or the finals itself. Take care.
You too. See you.
See you.
And I do believe that it's not only it for today's broadcast, it is it for the regular season itself. A lot of best of ones, a lot of crazy actions, a lot of comebacks, a lot of stomps. But in the end, 8 teams got split into the half. The upper half, the top 4 teams advancing to the playoffs, and the bottom 4 just taking a break and going on holidays earlier than intended.
Yes, for somebody, the off-season has already begun as of today after the games. Breathe in, breathe out, turn off your computer for a while, go outside, and then get back to the practice to make sure you come refreshed, energized, and as a better version into the next year. But before that happens, for some teams, they are still staying with us and they are going to start meeting each other in the best of 5s as of the next week.
And we have the schedule right now. We will have 2 best-of-5s next week happening, as you see currently on your screens. 0 Tenacity and back to the game. That's going to be match number 1. Match number 2, Forsaken fighting against GRP Esports. 2 really strong teams. Actually, 4 really strong teams fighting against each other, trying to get to the finals, to the LAN event in Gdańsk. I endure every and each one of you to at least try to come and visit this LAN event, because it might be epic.
Oh, no, I disagree with you. It will be epic, 100%. Even regardless of who exactly is getting into the finals in terms of the teams, it is going to be extremely exciting. But that is going to be the story for the playoffs. We need to wrap up the regular stage today.
And how to wrap it up in style, I do believe that all we need to say is thank you to you viewers for staying with us, for cheering for your favorite teams. Thank you to you players for giving us such a show, not only today, but throughout the entire season, entire year, entire Ultraliga and our history. And thank you to you, Solari, for staying with me on this evening and casting amazing League of Legends as usual.
I can only answer with the same. Thank you very much, Majutek. It's a pleasure to work with you. Really happy we got you as a pre-show host this year. Really damn happy to see you stepping into the role of a caster for the English broadcast as well. It's super nice, and I do believe that you feel into this role very nicely. So thank you. It's a pleasure to work with you, as well as with our production, Yukano and Hero. Thank you very much, guys, behind the scenes.
Of course, everybody is putting a lot of effort, so we all could enjoy the Ultraliga at its finest with the final LAN event. Oh my God, that's going to be so cool. I can't stress about it. I can't talk about it. I probably just need to end this broadcast and be excited in my room to just not completely all the evening talk about it. So once again, thank you very much. See ya next week for the playoff stage, and hopefully see ya for the finals, everybody.
Sí, ¿vos de qué parte sos? Yo de aquí. Ah, mira. ¿Tú de qué parte eres? Del norte.
Oh man, I feel like that was my best intro ever.
Yeah, not bad, not bad. Same. I can go pro. You know it as well. I also know you can dance. You should join me next time. And yes, I feel like you've also deserved a bit of a break. You've earned it.
Thanks.
Even the biggest champ needs a break.
Good job.
Hey, thank you.
Wjedź do elektryzującego świata esportu i zagraj z nami. Moc energii zapewnia elektryczna Kia EV6.